It has begun. We are live.
And a point and goodies to all of you Ramble Maniacs and all you BC aliens out there. And it goes a little something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Ramble Mania Show probably brings to you. I am your former 12-time Ramblemania heavyweight champion, your former inaugural Ramblemania tag team champion, your then now forever Ramblemania hardcore champion. I'm your villainous live man, Hazel the iZombie. Join along with me as always.
It is I, your now former 15-time Ramblemania champion. This nigga Young Wolf really upped the perfect score on me
He
on
came to
AEW.
play. He came to play, bro.
How fucking dare you? But yes, I have the former 15-time Ramblemania champion, which means I'm on your ass, Flair. It's Tom. TJ the Great. TJ the Great.
He knows that this Saturday is the next town of defense, so it could be the case, or I might make it 13
Watch
times.
I win it back for the fucking stupid ass World Wrestling Federation. I don't even watch that shit.
Hey, look, if that happens, we still have time to defend the belt at Slammiversary if that's the case.
Yeah, we cross the line, but they fucking with the Fed too.
We got to cross the line sooner or later.
Nasty out in these streets.
Is our All Elite Wrestling / Sydney Hoon Pro Wrestling 3rd Annual Forbidden Door 2024 review here on the Ramblemania Show. We will sit here, talk about everything that took place at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view that was at the UBS Arena in Long Island, New York, in the Suffolk County. This man was live in attendance for that show, his first AEW pay-per-view. Finally got to achieve that. Last time this happened was Ring of Honor in New Japan at the Garden. And now you got to see this shit.
Yes, and it's funny, like, shit. You bringing up that show makes me think about those two shows in comparison and really New Japan and how different New Japan is now from when they did that show at the Garden. Like, so much has changed since then. For one, the fucking top guy works at a different place. And did a bunch of other shit. Like, it's crazy to think about. But yeah, that my first AEW pay-per-view. I made the late decision. And, I'm gonna just buy this ticket and go. I went alone. And I still had fun. Again, if you're ever concerned about not having your friends or whatever with you going to a wrestling show, you're concerned about going alone, I would say do it. Just do it, because at the end of the day, you're going to something you enjoy and you're going to be around like-minded people. So at the very least, you'll be able to have at least a conversation or two, at least have a laugh or two with some people.
Yeah, you'll make a friend just being at a show overall if you go by yourself. Like, it's not a bad thing to go by yourself and whatnot to wrestling shows. Like, I used to do it back then. Wasn't a big issue, just the people that were in your area, in your seating area, they were just like, those are the ones that are going to be like, all right, these are going to be my friends for the next 3 hours, unless they want to, follow me or any of that stuff and they want to, get to know each other because of this shit. It's all this. Wrestling brings people together.
Absolutely. So yeah, going to the show, great time, live perspective, obviously banger. It's an AEW pay-per-view, so I'll just tell you right off the rip, it was good. It was very good. All the matches, most of the matches, for the most part, were very good. Two great, two, for one in particular, goated. And yeah, the one bit of I guess anxiety I had going into was knowing the length, because I've been to 3 AEW shows before this and they were all Grand Slams. Which 2-hour Dynamite, sometimes 1 hour, 2-hour Rampage. So you're basically there. I was basically there for the same time as I'd be there for a Grand Slam. Now that I think about it, but with the AEW pay-per-view, there isn't that break, that Rampage break, or those breaks in between segments or whatnot. Like, we are going for the next 4 hours, and I got there for the 0 hours. So basically, we were going for the next 5 hours, nonstop, full throttle, and it does wear on you a little bit. It does. Any 4-hour show would wear on you, no matter how good a time you have. But, and I think we'll talk about this later. It was good enough, and it held us enough that by the end, when we got to the main event match, she was way up. You were way up for Swerve and Osprey, and it was 11:30 at night. So
I will admit this to you, like, because I was literally going to stay for the media scrum.
yeah,
But once I got to the World Heavyweight title match,
you was like, yeah, I'm done.
and it's a couple of reasons. The champ is here.
The champ is here, you son of a bitch. You robbed me. Congratulations to Young Wolf, the champ.
Yes.
The
It's only
Ramblemania.
because I now got back into working, so now I've just basically tired myself out. Two, it's been a while since I had to like smoke a lot and drink. And that was what was tiring me out. So it's been a while since I last smoked. And last time I smoked was during pay-per-views. And
Bro's
it was,
tolerance is down.
yeah, and if you notice, black gloves are on. I have to kill Young Wolf now because he's the champion. Yeah, new gimmick has risen. I got tired. I got really tired. And again, this has been one of the issues. Like, we're gonna get to some of the issues that we're gonna talk about that were in this show before we get to the 0 hour. Did you happen to see all the 0 hour? Because they just randomly pulled the 5th match out of Tony Khan's ass.
Yeah. I got there because I got there like right as the doors opened and they were setting up. So I was like, all right,
Perfect.
Perfect.
So yeah, it was like I was literally trying my best. And you know me, I'm willing to stay up for the people that are willing to stay up with me, watch all the extra shit. But it was like, oh my God. I've been telling you this for a few days that we were going to have this issue, and they did 10 matches. They did 10 matches, and then they added 5 matches on the 0 hour. They added 1 the day of the show, and I was just like,
yeah, they said have some Snake Man and Kyle Fletcher. I was like, what?
So once we got to the main event, that's when I was just like, all right, you know what? In my mind, I'm like, all right, I'm going to just call it quits after this show is over because I'm not staying for the media scrum. To find out that once I hit the off button, 5 minutes later, the media scrum started.
Yeah, it's interesting because I took an Uber home because I wasn't doing public transportation for that fact of what we talked about. It was going to be late getting out, and I was actually expecting to get out even later than I did, but still, I was all right. Good, 12 o'clock is relatively early. I'm still getting that cab because shit.
And plus, I don't think the Long Island Railroad runs 24 hours.
It doesn't, but I actually probably could have gotten like a late train if I would have hopped over there quick. But I just took the cab home because I even my sister had texted me the night before. She was like, "You going to UBS Arena? You should take a cab home." I was like, "Okay, I will." So I took a cab home, and while I was in the cab, I wanted to jump on to see if you were still on because I was like, "All right, maybe I'll get home in time and Hazel will still be on." But you were already done. I was like, "Oh, he's done already." The stream was over. So then I went to the scrub, and I was like, "Oh, the scrub started already? What the hell?" So I was watching some of the scrum on the way home.
I was watching some of it, and I'm like, maybe I should have stayed. Maybe I should have stayed awake. But yo, like, again, this has been one of the issues that I've been having with these AEW pay-per-views. The fact that, like, you know, in total, it was a 5.5 hour show. Because they start their shit at 6:30, they do the little reports, and then 7 o'clock, that's when they do the 0 hour matches. Then pay-per-view time. We're 4 hours into this with 10 matches. It's a major issue with Tony Khan. And another issue that plagued this pay-per-view was what I received earlier. A couple of friends of mine, they also went to the show. They saw the merch that AEW was presenting. The merch was embarrassing for what they provided. We're talking $40 to $50 t-shirts, $40 hats, $45 LIJ towels. And the only thing that they had New Japan was LIJ stuff. Like, LIJ New York stuff, no MJF shit, no Willow stuff, not even Jericho stuff, due to the fact that they are originally from Long Island.
I did see
None of
some regular nude shirts at the one of the stands I went to.
But it was just like the pricing is ridiculous. And then there's this AEW World Tag Team Championship that I've now heard was $1,000.
Yeah, it's the merch situation is not great, and it's like we were talking about it just before we started. Like this is my 4th AEW show, first pay-per-view, and it's funny, like the first Grand Slam, the merch situation was terrible. Like they had almost nothing set up properly. They had almost, no merch for anybody. Like it was really bad the first year. And then the second year, it was a lot better. They had more on tap. They had different locations set up so that more people could go to different places, and you didn't have these massive lines. And I feel like they took that one leap of, all right, you have more merch out, and then just sort of stagnated from there, because now their issue is they don't have the proper shit on sets. Like, again, if you're doing a show on Long Island, the main priority for a personal superstar, personal wrestler whose merch you should have is MJF. You should have MJF merch. You should have Willow merch. You should have Statlander merch. That shit should all be on deck, readily available. You should stack more of that than anything else. Like what WWE does, like when they want to sell a bunch of fucking John Cena shirts, they'll pack in 10,000 John Cena shirts and then 1,000 other shirts or whatever shit. But they're making sure they got the inventory right. And I don't know how AEW does their merchandising process, but it's got to improve, because like you are a major, you're a major company, and it feels like they're leaving money on the table with this merch situation. Like people want to buy and support the product in different ways, and it's almost a barrier to entry in that.
And again, no professional wrestling fan, unless they won the fucking lottery or they're actually at the shows every week, like Brock Lesnar guy, green shirt guy, or any other fucking guy we see on wrestling shows. No other fan is going to waltz into a professional wrestling event carrying $10,000 in cash, thinking they're going to walk out with a shit ton of merch. Absolutely not. It's not that they don't have that kind of money. It's AEW thinks that that's the fan base that has that type of money because, they buy their stuff from Pro Wrestling Tees, or they buy stuff from the WWE shop that's expensive as well. No, like WWE has fair pricing, but sometimes they overprice their shit. You guys overprice your shit. Literally. Shirts, hats, sweaters. There was a $75 sweater. Who's buying a sweater at the end of June when we're in summer?
Yeah, and it's stuff like that. Like we're in the middle of summer, and you out here. That hoodie could have been an MJF shirt. That hoodie could have been a New Japan shirt, a Naito shirt, or whatever. Like, know the personnel, know where you're going, know what who the popular people are in that area. Like, it feels like they're not doing the type of market research that is necessary for this type of stuff. And I don't know why, because it's not like they don't have the resources.
And
At least I think you would think.
Right now, that belt was not even signed. That I've seen the video. That World Tag Team title belt, it was not signed. I would it for $1,000.
I would have to imagine there has to be some reason it's $1,000. Like we talked about, like even with the times we've been AEW and then they've sold belts, like none of them were $1,000. So there has to be something that made that belt worth $1,000.
I went to Blood and Guts and I told you about the merch stuff there. Yeah. It wasn't that bad, but there was a major issue that they were plugging Elite stuff, Adam Cole, MJF stuff, but not plugging all the Blood and Guts shirts were already sold out, but not plugging any other superstar that was on the card. No Britt Baker shirts, none of that shit. That's how I got the Bryan Danielson pin, the Scissor Me Foam Daddy shirt, and the Elite shirt. I didn't tell you about the merch at Big Business, though.
Oh, yeah. I assume it was a similar situation.
It was worse than that.
See?
They had Mercedes Moné shirts, but that's all it was. And
I bet they sold out quick as shit.
I probably they did. Probably they did. I don't know because again, this was out of nowhere that I had to go to this show. It was like last minute.
That was like a last minute thing for you.
So it was like, my intentions were not there to go and buy merch. It was just really to go and enjoy the show and be back at the city. But when I saw that merch table, I'm like, oh my God, you people are the worst. You're the worst to ever do this.
Yeah, it's for a major company. I feel like at some point Tony's got to look at this and be like, we have to do better.
Like
We have to do better.
I've been to House of Glory shows, and there's a section where there's nothing but championship belts, and they sell all those championship belts for how much? $300. Yeah. These motherfuckers are charging rent money.
They are, and again, with the pricing, do what you do, whatever. But the thing for me is like the way they run out of stock so quickly when they know we have 10,000 people coming to this show. Be ready. Be ready. And they're constantly, it seems, not ready. So I like AEW, obviously. Been to 4 shows, enjoyed the hell out of this show. But this is something that they need to improve. Give us more long championship reigns, says Byron. Who do you think needs a more long championship reign?
Honestly, what we need right now? We need a real journalist to ask Tony Khan the question, what the fuck is going on with your merch? Why are you overpricing your merch, bro? Like, fans don't got that type of money to be going around spending $1,000 on championship belts. Like, 500, okay. 1,000, no.
It would like that would be a great question for someone to have asked him in the scrum. Hey, why wasn't there a lot of MJF merchandise available tonight? Like those are in,
Why didn't you have any of your wrestlers merchandise on the stands? Why is it for specific things? Like, maybe somebody wanted to buy, I don't know, an Abaddon shirt, and you don't got Abaddon shirts because you want to plug Forbidden Door and LIJ stuff.
Yeah, and even in that scenario, like I get you're only going to take but so many shirt designs. You're not going to take every single shirt that you have in your inventory on PWTs or whatever. But that's why I said what I said before. Assess. Know who might move some merch in whatever you're going to, and make sure you got that shit on hand. Like if you go to fucking, again, Long Island, MJF. You go to fucking wherever, you go to Seattle, Washington, have Danielson and Swerve shit on deck and Darby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Regional shit. It's they gotta be better about that. They gotta be better about that. Last Double or Nothing show, there was dead ass nothing that truly caught my eye. Only the main event shirt because designs was kind of meh. Yeah, I also feel like they could do better on a lot of the designs. But again, that's all shit that they should look into in terms of merch money left on the table. Because I do think there is a lot of merch money being left on the table with the way AEW is doing things.
There was absolutely a lot that they keep leaving out there. And hopefully all of this changes when we go into 2025 or the next pay-per-view being All In. Maybe they got plenty of time for close to the end of August, so maybe they'll have all their merch and everything else ready to be ready for Wembley. But yeah, what up, Bearcats? Young Wolf is going to defend the championship at Money in the Bank this Saturday. That is one of our big 5 WWE shows that has the title defense, so that will be happening. But can I name my title reign?
What do you want to name it?
What do you want? I mean, we don't really name any of our title reigns. We just go by what we know, which is World Heavyweight, or Six just calls it the Ramblemania Championship.
Yeah, the man is the champion. I say let him name it. Let him do what you got to do. This is his reign. Swerve should retain at All In, says Byron. I agree. Well, and at this rate, I think he will.
I guess we will see what happens indeed for that All In shit. All right. Well, for those of you who are new here to the chat, to our show, we're going to be reviewing everything that took place on the Forbidden Door event, the 15 match card in total that took place but we're going to rapid fire everything that took place on the 0 hour because we need to save all of our energy for the 10-match card that took place on the main show. So the rankings for these are: 1 is a who booked this shit, 2 is a bad, 3 is a solid good, 4 is a bars, 5 is a goat, 6 and up is whatever the fuck we want to name it type shit.
Yes.
But let us rapid fire the 0 hour that had 5 matches on here. Are we ready, TJ?
Of course he would name it that. All right. You know what? You can name it that, and I'm gonna take the title from you Saturday to end it. But yes, I am ready.
God.
I am ready.
Do we have a clip for this? Hold on. I'll
just throw it. I'll catch it. Now he's drinking it.
That's what error that is.
You're so weird. All right, well, we're starting off with the first match that opened up the 0 hour being Kyle Fletcher, which he just lost the television title to Atlantis Jr. in the Arena, Mexico. He faces off against a Snake Man. This match was 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Great one, rapid fire this.
Yeah, I mean, so this mostly felt like, hey Kyle, let's get you a quick win back after you dropped the title to Atlantis. And they gave him a quick win. You know, it's the Snake Man. The Snake Man is a perfect guy to slot in at a job guy upper tier level. Like obviously the Snake Man's in a whole feud and shit on Ring of Honor, but when he comes up to the bigger shows, he'll job out to the bigger stars, which is essentially his role, and it works.
Yes.
So yeah, this was fine. It was
so a good basically.
I mean, I guess. Did you want me to rate the pre-show match?
Yeah,
0 hours.
It's just a rapid fire.
Yeah, rapid fire. It was good. It was fine.
At this point, I think it's Kyle O'Reilly that should be the one taking every luchador's mask since he lost to Luchador.
He should become a new mask collector.
Yeah, I mean, why are we giving Maria and these random niggas that type of angle and shit? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he need to get with them and be like, yo, I heard you be stealing
No, he
these
doesn't
masks.
need to get with them. Just switch the story around. Like, have them do something else. And then give Kyle Fletcher Serpentico's mask and have him rock with that and be like, I got one mask, bro. More masks to go. But nah, it was like I feel like this should be the angle right here because after I found out yesterday when I was at work that he was not the champion anymore, he lost to Atlantis Jr. I'm like, damn, we was pushing Black Cody Rhodes for nothing, huh? For this man to lose to a luchador? Solid good. It gets a solid good. Only because Serpentico had to do the job. He had to die because Kyle Fletcher lost to a luchador, and all he sees is red when luchadors are in front of him.
Fucking luchadors.
It's the return of the Kings of the Black Throne. They take on Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly. They take on Roderick Strong and fucking what? Gabe Kidd with Gato, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett. And they took on Private Party. This was a fatal 4-way tag team match. That's a lot of teams for this. This was 8 minutes and 35 seconds. Rapid fire this, TJ.
I ain't gonna lie, I spent like the first minute or so just screaming at Gato when I saw him. I was like, Gato! What the fuck are you doing? Gato! But yeah, no, this was a fun multi-man party tag. I love the fact that I get to see Tomohiro Ishii wrestle in person. I would never ever be fucking, upset with that. I'll always be happy with that. House of Black winning is an interesting call, I guess. Just cause I don't know. It feels like Cope's injury really like juked a lot of whatever they were gonna do with the House of Black. So they kind of just reset them and said, all right, let's just have them go back to what they were doing and go in a different direction. But it was a fun match otherwise. I'll give it a good.
I mean,
Young Wolf, don't you start.
Yeah, Robert. The interview is taking place right now, and they're basically filming something in the funhouse. Looks like a projector or something. Yeah, Bo's just talking to himself. But this match though, yeah, too many guys, too many things. House of Black winning. It was great. Gets a solid good.
Nice.
Next match, we have Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano taking on Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe. This match was 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Rapid fire, great one.
Yo, this was fun. It probably had the most heat out of anything on like the 0 hour, just because it had Willow and Stat, who are Long Island girls. But I thought Momo and Tam worked very well out there. Stoke was out here tweeting talking about we about to win the trios titles. That's how we cooking.
What?
But yeah, Willow and Tam was a very good team, very fun team. And again, basically just more story progression between Willow and Stad, while also having in some Forbidden Door and Stardom involvement. Which again, probably the biggest benefit on the women's side for sure on the women's side is the fact that they now have Stardom to add into the Forbidden Door. So because before with fucking Hatman being an op, they couldn't get real access to them, and now they can. And now you can get Momo Watanabe, Tam Nakano, Mina Shirakawa, like a bunch of great women's talent to mingle with the AEW women's talent and continue to build that division into something strong. Like again, the division is just good now. We don't even have to say it. Like the women's division is just good now. It's in a good place.
Yep. It's now in a good place. And Riho making a return as well on Saturday. So it's
yes.
Holy shit. I think we're getting to that point where the women's division is now starting to get good. What did you grade this again?
I gave this a good.
This one I really enjoyed. It was fun. I like seeing Momo Watanabe and Tam Nakano wrestle, but we all know where the story was here. This was Chris, Willow. They have to do their little tease since their match this Wednesday is coming up at Beach Break. So we got to get that built up. With Willow and Tam getting the win here, I can't really complain. It's just to get her momentum going forward because we all know that she might not make it into the finals. She's not going to be a two-peat Owen Hart Cup winner. I wanted to be in that sort of predicament, but it's not because they're going to build. I think they're going to give them the Wembley match. They might get an all-in match going into this, and probably not in the 0 hour. I'm going to give this tag match gets solid good. It was really fun. Very fun indeed. Mariah May goes one-on-one with Saraya in the Women's Owen Hart Cup Tournament quarter-final match. This was 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Go ahead, TJ, rapid fire this.
Yeah, like I said from the very beginning when they booked this is about getting Mariah her win back and about pretty much hopefully putting a bow on this whole little mini story that Mariah and Tony has had with the new Outcast, the Outcast 2.0. So yeah, it was basically just wrapping that story up and putting a bow on it and giving Mariah her win to set her off into the Owen, which I feel she's winning to ultimately take on Tony because like I've said from the beginning, the ultimate path of this Mariah May Tony Storm story is for Mariah to turn on Tony. So she'll win the tournament. She'll do that. And this was the start of that. Yeah, this was fun. I give it a good.
Mariah May wrestled. Yay! Saraya wrestled. Boo. Match gets a bad. I can't stand anything with Saraya anymore. Like, she can't keep doing this. Like, I'm happy that Mariah won, but there's more reasons to this, and I'm going to explain later when we get to that women's championship match. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. The main event for the 0 hour, the one that everyone was really waiting for, and that was Los Ingoblenables de Japón of Suji Yoda, Titan, and Takahashi Hiromu taking on the Lucha Brothers, Penta El Cero Miedo, Rey Phoenix, and Místico. This was 12 flat. Great one. Let's bring the 0 hour home.
I ain't gonna lie, this probably should have been on the main show. This shit ruled.
Oh my God.
This shit
Yes.
ruled.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Yo. Fucking the Penta Yoda Suji face off. Fucking Teton going crazy. Like, yeah, Teton got to get pushed, man. Like, New Japan, I feel like don't be pushing him like this. He don't get this type of shot out there.
You know what it is? We got to watch Fantastica Mania because that's when apparently he gets pushed. But
Probably,
we don't
yeah,
watch
because
that
I
show.
do think in CMLL he does get a little more shine over there, which I should watch more. Obviously, I do. I do need to watch more of that.
Yes.
But yeah, this was fucking super fun. Like, Mystico fit with the Lucha Bros surprisingly well. Like, he worked very well with them. And dude, like, again, just the idea of something like this happening, you didn't think something like this could even happen because of the whole idea of
No,
even guys that
AAA.
yeah, even guys that were once affiliate, like the Lucha Bros, obviously they work AEW now. They aren't really affiliated with AAA like that anymore. But
No.
they still were at one point. So even guys that were in AAA usually can't even affiliate with CMLL guys because the beef is that deep, is that real. And somehow, some way, AEW is able to pull this shit off. Like, Tony Khan and Rocky Romero and whoever else worked on putting this together, y'all are miracle workers. Shout out to y'all.
Yes, absolutely, indeed.
So yeah, I'm gonna give this a fucking high goods. This was some really good shit.
Yeah, again, this is like that regular show skit. It's so much fun. So much
Yes.
fun. And now here's the thing. Like, I don't think it matters who in a mass teams up with the Lucha Bros because it works so well because you guys wrestle the exact same style. And Alex Abrahantes being the Sonny Ono for Lucha Libre, getting all these guys together. Like, yeah, it's probably him. It's Tony. It's Rocky because Rocky is in close relationship with CMLL. And he is the one that, basically does the interpretations and shit. Just like how Conan is like, very close with AAA and all that shit. This had to work. It had to be necessary because, again, there's something else that we're going to be talking about later on in a couple minutes that is going to lead that was leading to this. And this match was absolutely everything that a lot of people wanted. We got to see some junior heavyweights compete, some Lucha Libre style, some strong style within the Japan side. Teton making a killing. He does need to get pushed a lot. This guy's an absolute star. I don't know why New Japan is not like doing anything with this man. He needs to be. I think he's in this year's G1. I don't know, but we got to do something with him. He's amazing. But everybody was here for Mystico. Everybody absolutely was here for Mystico. And once he got in that ring, did stuff with Yoda, did stuff with Hiromu. But when he started doing his shit with Teton, it was out of this world. And I enjoyed each and every single minute of that shit. It was absolutely amazing to see those two guys in the ring together. Just to see the Lucha Bros and Mystico together. That's a dream team right there. I'd give the match a fucking bars. This was balls to the wall. Absolute amazement to close out the 0 hour, getting everyone hyped for the main card that was about to take place. But before we get to that, there was an announcement that took place throughout the main show, and that is on January 1st, 2025, New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, Ring of Honor, Stardom, CMLL, under one roof in the Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Dynasty. The biggest show to take place in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm wondering, because now that we are at the beginning of the second half of the year, how they are going to do this fucking card. Because we got the G1 already coming up. We got the World Tag League. We got. I don't know what CMLL does. We don't watch any of this stuff. We don't watch a lot of Stardom. That's our fault. We don't know what they're going to be doing with that. Either the Stardom belts are going to be defended or the IWGP Women's World Championship will be defended. I don't know. But I do believe that there is going to be certain matches where all the promotions are going to have their world titles on the line within this event, which I don't mind. When you could do the other matches as like singles matches, crazy tag matches. But yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the biggest news that took place within the show, and everyone's excited. How do you feel about this news?
I'm excited for it. It's basically a full-fledged realization of what this partnership means for these companies and them working together. Like, people ask, like, what does this company get out of collaborating with AEW? What does that company get out of collaborating with AEW? Now you see, you get to run this big super show on your main company's big event, collaborating with all these other companies, getting the resources from all these other companies. Because again, if they're billing that as an AEW, New Japan, CMLL, they're billing it as all that. There's definitely going to be some AEW people on that show, and people of value, I would imagine. And the same goes for everybody else. Like, it indicates a healthy business partnership between these companies, which is what you want, which is what I love to see. Because I love seeing things like Forbidden Door season and learning about new wrestlers and seeing other wrestlers cross over that I like. Like, this is all very fun.
Yes, and also it brings out a new variety of wrestling for people who haven't watched certain promotions. Like, we don't watch CMLL, we don't watch Stardom. It gives us an opportunity to take a look at some of the CMLL guys and some of the Stardom girls that we were never introduced to in North America, and we get to see them in the Tokyo Dome go out there and do their stuff. It's also for the Japanese crowd who haven't got a chance to look at North American wrestling, but watch Fantastica Mania on a yearly basis, along with Stardom, Tokyo Joshi Pro, Ice Princess, or whatever other Joshi promotion is out there in Japan. They get to experience the North American stuff or the Mexican stuff. We are going to be experiencing for the first time ourselves more Lucha Libre and more Joshi within this event coming up next year in 6 months' time. So honestly, we are stoked. We are absolutely excited for this 5-promotion event, for this event involving 5 promotions that are probably going to shake the wrestling world by storm at the beginning of the year. So this is a treat for all of us, not just a particular region in general. This is a treat for all of us who haven't watched certain wrestlers, certain promotions. We finally get to see them be utilized and be used as proper talent, and they get to go out and do their shit. And I'm excited because we will be live for that next year.
We will. We absolutely will. You spin, Young Wolf. You do her own versus Phoenix. And what's up, Haseen? He says the Capcom next on. Oh, I did get to see some of that. I didn't get to see all of it, but I did get to see some of it. I don't think it was that long.
Speaking of which, I did get to see the signups for all the Evo lineups. Mortal Kombat 1 has the lowest sign-up in all of Evo history. 645 people signed up, while Street Fighter 6 has a total of 5,600.
Yeah, niggas is not fucking with MK1.
Guilty Gear got 2,400 signatures.
Guilty Gear is really good.
No, it really is. It really is. I'm just mad that they still don't put Zappa in the fucking game. Bring that motherfucker back. He was actually good.
Yeah. But I mean, the NRS, it's looking like they got to look at the next Mortal Kombat. Like, all right, what do we fix? Because
everything.
This ain't hit.
Everything. The new timelines bring back everything that was good. You ruined it by putting in a new timeline.
I heard the Street Fighter director talk about, hey, I wouldn't mind bringing in Sub-Zero as a guest character. I was like, what?
No. At this point, you do that, Street Fighter is gonna be like fucking Super Smash Brothers. He's gonna invite everybody. Just invite everybody.
I gonna lie though, in Street Fighter 6's system, Sub-Zero would kind of hit.
but then we won't get any fatalities. We won't get any of the blood, none of that violence.
Yeah,
They have to tone them down.
That's the thing. They're
See,
not
when
gonna
they put Sub-Zero in Injustice, they toned them down a bit, but it was just for the fatals and all that shit. All of his moves were not toned down. They were still pretty violent because Injustice was a violent game. Okay.
Yeah. Like there's a level of violence that Street Fighter normally doesn't go to that Mortal Kombat does. So that's tough. TJ, I'm seeing a video of my reaction after what? Yeah, I gotta see that.
All right. Well, I think it's time for us to get down to the nitty gritty. Are we ready to review the main card?
Yes, sir.
Submitted to the approval of the Ramblemania show. This is the tale of Ospreay almost stabbing a man for coffee and the New York crowd acting weird.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let us ramble. We open up the main card with MJF going up against CMLL's very own technical wizard, Hechiseto. That match was 9 minutes and 50 seconds. TJ, let's ramble, brother.
Yes, indeed. MJF came out, got a mega pop.
Dominic is on top of Liv.
Oh, good for him.
Oh, God, no, don't make out. I'm sorry.
But yeah, MJF mega over in LI. Obviously, he's the guy. He's our scumbag. And they didn't let. I was gonna say that, Cincy. They didn't let Hechiseto cook to the extent that I would have liked to see him cook. They basically played. They had MJF play the hits here. MJF played a lot of his hits, did a lot of his shtick, and it worked for the most part because the crowd was very excited to see him. I think that's the thing that I'm going to come back to in terms of the weirdness, so to speak, with the crowd. I think a lot of people in this crowd weren't as interested in the international in some of the international talents, and I think that's because a lot of this crowd. It felt like to me, just from listening to people talk and gauging a lot of the reactions throughout the building and the vibes, they were primarily AEW fans. And I say AEW fans loosely because I feel like a lot of people there, because I heard a lot of people talk about WWE when I was there. And obviously I get that.
So WWE, the IWC was in attendance?
I guess. I get it. WWE is super hot right now. They're popular. So obviously there's going to be a lot of people at a wrestling show who are watching WWE. But it just felt like, as opposed to Grand Slam 2021, where it felt like so many of those people there were just fans of different types of shit and were there for that type of shit. It felt like a lot of the people here were more just into the big two in terms of American wrestling. Like what they watch is the big two, WWE, AEW, and that's really it for them. And they may know about some of the other wrestlers through watching AEW, but they're not as tapped in as, say, that Grand Slam 2021 crowd would have been. So that's what I think that the differences in this crowd lie, because that's the kind of vibe I got throughout. But yeah, I say that to say, I think that type of crowd, what I'm talking about with the Grand Slam 2021, they would have definitely liked to see Hechiseto cook more. But this Long Island crowd tonight was happy to just see MJF do his thing and be back in the ring and all that good stuff. So, I mean, Hechiseto had a solid performance. He wasn't bad at all, but I definitely would have liked to see more from him. So I'm going to give this a high, bad, low, good.
I think that solid performance is probably why he was like you said, he wasn't really himself in this match, which was kind of off-putting because I was really hyped up to see Hechiseto do all the crazy stuff that he does. I'm not saying that, MJF is like, yeah, that ain't gonna work with me, brother. Like, no, MJF don't got that kind of pull. But I feel like it just what this match didn't really click like how I wanted it to be. The match wasn't terrible. Was not terrible at all. It was good. They had Hechiseto go out there do his thing, but I feel like it wasn't really like he didn't give it his all out there. We were expecting more from Hachi Seto than what we got here. I mean, for what was it, the 9 minutes that they gave them
9 minutes
for less than 10 seconds, I can't hate on it because again, it was just MJF being MJF. Now that's what I call MJF Volume 4. You know, him doing all the hits.
Like that. Essentially, like MJF loves talking about how people doubt him as a in-ring performer, and he loves showing people that he actually is a great wrestler. This would have been the perfect opportunity for him to show, like, you know what? Yeah, I am a fucking great wrestler. Let me wrestle one of the best technical wrestlers in the world and get on his level. Like, and they did a little bit of that in the beginning, where they were doing a lot of technical back and forth. But then MJF just started getting up and doing his shtick. I was like, all right,
like, yeah, you're right. At the beginning, they were cooking, but then it was like when we got to the middle and the end, it felt phoned in.
Yeah,
like they just half-assed it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, so I would have liked to see a little more on that end.
I mean, look, overall, like, this was to give MJF the big pop. You know, we haven't seen him wrestle in 6 months. Last time we were here, he lost the belt to Samoa Joe at the end of 2023. So it was kind of a tense moment for MJF to be back in that crowd once again. But it's not like he lost a step. We saw the match that he had with Roos, and that was actually really good.
Yeah.
This was his second match back. I'm going to give it a solid good. You know, it was good for what it was. A good opener. Wasn't expecting, you know, fireworks to come out of this match. But I was expecting more from Hachi Seto, and I just feel like that they didn't let him do enough. I get it, hometown boy. He has to get the hometown feel. Let him get the momentum. My big issue was MJF did the Panama Sunrise and then ends it with a brainbuster. Right then and there, Adam Cole should have came back and got his revenge after MJF came back and got his revenge on Adam Cole. What happened?
Yeah, I'm wondering. Well, the rumor was that they had MJF beat up Cole when he came back because Cole still wasn't ready. So I guess Cole's
but we
dead.
saw that. We saw that when MJF made his return.
Yeah.
So
I guess that was them like getting Cole out for more time because I don't know. Because I agree with you. Obviously, it makes sense for Adam Cole to come out, or at least Adam Cole to be back in the picture. But
I feel like it's absolutely ridiculous because how much time does Adam Cole need to be written off TV for? Like, he's cleared.
Well, if he's still hurt, then
no, he's cleared. He said it himself. He's 100% cleared. But
if he's cleared, I don't know.
So then, what the fuck? What does he still think he's not ready? Does he still need more time to rehabilitate?
Yeah, that was my assumption on it. Like, there's still steps that Cole needs to take before he's ready to be back fully. That's what I thought.
And again, that was really what was catching my attention was, you know, once he did the Sunrise, I'm like, and again, I wasn't here live when that match took place. I was actually walking home while this match happened. I got in when it was like right after Max Caster did his rap. So I'm sitting there, I'm walking, I'm like, Adam Cole? No. So I'm like, all right, then I gotta wait till Wednesday then, or whenever this is gonna happen, because I get that, like, when we talked about this months ago or last year with the whole Adam Cole MJF thing, that this needs to happen soon. Why now, when MJF comes back, he beats up Cole, Cole has to be written off TV again. Again, this is the problem with AEW when they're doing too many fucking stories.
Yeah. But I won't blame them for that one, because if Cole isn't ready, then they can't do anything. So I'll give them a pass on that.
Here's the thing you got to give them blame for. Because what if we actually have the Daniel Garcia MJF match at All In, and that's when Adam Cole decides to come back? Once again,
see, that's messy. But that
again,
back
to this story again, knowing that people know that this man still has a rivalry with Adam Cole that needs to happen soon.
Yeah, so but that's down the line. So hopefully they don't get that messy. But again, they maybe will get back to that down the line at some point. I hope.
I'm still gonna give the match a solid good though. Next match that we had was the Elite Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the tag team champions, the Continental Champion Okada taking on the Acclaimed and the Scissor Ace, our president of Shinnihu Puroresu, Tanahashi Hiroshi. This was 13 minutes flat. Go ahead, TJ, ramble on.
Yeah, the two parts of this match I was into the most, and the crowd was into the most, truthfully, were the Okada and Tanahashi face off. People chant "Holy shit" for it. I was like, "Oh yeah, let's go."
The fact that they chanted "Holy shit" for that means that this was probably the third time that they were actually watching these two men in the ring in North America and don't know the history of how many times these two men have wrestled each other.
I feel like the people who were chanting "Holy shit" at it, they do like, oh, like this is a legendary rivalry, and we're actually getting to see these two like in a ring live, like, and that is cool. Like I chanted "Holy shit" for that reason because I was like, yo, it's Okada and Tanahashi. Like this is it. This is the feud that made him.
It's the same here because like watching these two guys feud for years, for 10 years going strong. Yeah, I'm gonna chant "Holy shit" because it's historic. But go ahead, go ahead.
So yeah, like getting to be in the building to see Okada and Tanahashi in the ring together, like because when they both hang it up, that's going to be one of the greatest rivalries of all time, the two of the best ever. So yeah, getting to see that was definitely something special. And Bowens, I thought Anthony Bowens was great in this match. Had a lot of fire, did a lot of cool stuff here in his hot tag. Was running super hot, and I guess that was the like Max got to do a longer rap at the beginning. He got to do a longer verse because I guess the idea was since they kept cutting the Acclaimed off all these weeks on TV, finally we get to a pay-per-view where Max can rap and not get cut off, and so he did like 12 bars.
All I heard was Biden and bitch.
Yeah, he called them bitches like 50 times.
I'm like, yeah, rap music, everyone. That's how rap music is.
I'm like, all right, man. it wasn't bad, but it was all right, man. I don't know. I think like the Acclaimed have sort of slipped in the last year, and having them feud with the Bucks, who are supposed to be like the hottest heel act in the company right now, is kind of a weird juxtaposition, which is it's kind of weird, but it's strange. It's strange. But otherwise, I thought the match was it was solid. DJ Okada was kind of funny. I like DJ Okada. Like he honestly is the best. Like watching him do comedy shit is actually very great. He's very good at it. But yeah, then Okada he gets the win with the Rainmaker, and then he's gonna kill Tanahashi, and then Billy Gunn comes out, and for whatever reason, Billy Gunn is the most powerful man in AEW. No one can stop him. I don't know why they keep doing that, but I like Billy Gunn. I just don't know why they book him so strong. I don't get that. But I give this match a solid good.
Yeah, super fun. I think it's just, like I said, it's in the Forbidden Door rule book. You have to put Tanahashi in a fucking match because what the fuck? Why the hell not? But in the AEW rule book of Forbidden Door, Tanahashi has to lose every AEW match that he's in. Yeah. This is the third match straight. He lost to Jon Moxley for the AEW title. He lost to MJF last year for the AEW title. You lost to the man that you've been feuding with for 15 plus fucking years. That's strike 3. You're out. I don't think you should be booked anymore, bro.
Tanahashi is not good enough to compete with the big boys.
Like you got no legs. I don't know how you can still keep going. Once it still amazes me to this day that once that bell rings, Tanahashi just has the magical powers of some sort of witchcraft and wizardry to fucking walk. But then once the bell rings, it's like, oh, my leg,
my leg. She's crazy.
It amazes me. And, again, I know the Bucks and the Acclaim, they got their little feud going on, but I was really here for the Ace and Okada because that's what I grew up watching for those 10 plus years. This is the feud that caught my attention. It's New Japan. It wasn't Bullet Club. It wasn't anything else. It was these two, and I really enjoyed their matches and their rivalry. I'm not going to say that this was one of them because this was just added to two teams involved. What's crazy is these two guys were once former 6-man tag team champions.
Yes.
And now here they are back feuding again.
Yes. Okada was like, why did he drop the fucking titles? Okada was like, I don't want to.
Okada was basically telling Tanahashi, we should have dropped the titles.
Why you ain't take the damn belt off me before I left? You knew I was leaving.
You piece of shit. What kind of president are you still having me hold on to the belt? You think I'm Bret Hart? Fuck out of here. It was so fun though. It was so really fun though to enjoy this match. I'm not gonna say any shit about the Young Folks because they've already done everything that I've already said. I just can't wait for them to actually lose at Wembley to the Acclaim because that's where this is heading. Like, all right, y'all got the win here, but we're gonna get that rub right back. We're gonna get it right back. We beat y'all in the Eliminator. Y'all beat us in the 6-man. We're gonna get that title shot at Wembley, and we're gonna beat y'all there. Watch. I will give the match a solid goods because it was actually pretty fun. It was so much fun. Anthony Bowens, my man, he was the absolute workhorse here. He was the highlight of this whole show. Well, not the whole show, just this match. I'm sorry. Like he was great here. And now we get to our men's Owen Hart Cup tournament quarterfinal first round match. It is Dragon versus Dragon. This was 20 minutes flat. TJ, go ahead, man. Ramble.
This is the main reason I bought the damn ticket for this show. I was like, I can't miss Dragon versus Dragon. Are you crazy? Like, obviously, the whole card was great. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go. But Dragon versus Dragon, can't miss that, man. The one fucking Bryan Danielson Shingo Takagi match is from like 10 years ago in like Dragon Gate. So yeah, I had to see this shit. And yeah, man, this shit slapped crazy. Like, so Shingo worked super heel. Shingo went super heel. He did the fucking yes chants and shit. It's like, oh Shingo, you bitch, fuck you. and then Dragon, obviously American Dragon versus Japanese Dragon. Brian worked super babyface. Again, I know a lot of people don't like when he does this with the teasing with the neck and the concussion history and all that stuff. But he dug into that bag for this match, and it works. It pulls at the heartstrings. Like, there were silences and shit like that fell over the crowd during points in the evening, but like, this was one of those where it felt like, yo, is he okay? Is he good? Like, he's shaking in there. I see a little bit. But that's just Brian selling. That's just him getting the emotion out of the crowd because he's very old school in that respect. He wants to
basically him telling the story.
Yeah, he's telling the story. Like, as a wrestler, he's telling a story with his body. And the story he's telling is, I have a bad neck. And this motherfucker's slamming me on my neck. He might fuck me up. But I'm gonna fight through it and I'm gonna win. Which is exactly what he did. Because he's the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, the greatest wrestler that's ever lived. And this was a fucking tremendous match. Some of the slaps these two threw at each other, like, there was one point where Shingo's bombing on Brian with the secrets. Brian slaps the shit out of him to break it up. Shingo, like, backs up, turns toward the ropes, and is like, did this motherfucker just... And then he goes at Brian and levels him with his lariat. Yo, these two are laid in, bro. I am so happy I went and watched this live. Bars. What can I say? It's the GOAT. It's the battle of the dragons. Is exactly what I wanted out of this. So yeah, bars. Liv Morgan's the face of WWE. That's sick. It's a pretty face. Very pretty face.
Right.
Good thing we had that in handy. Yo, so these motherfuckers was wrestling like this was a G1. And honestly, this was more of a Dragon Gate feel. Because holy shit, Shingo really brought out his Dragon Gate phase all over again for this one. They was hitting, they was slapping, they was wrestling, and they was telling a fucking story. Because again, 10 plus years since these two men last wrestled. Let's run it back. Since they were plugging it that deep that they were gonna have Shingo in the tournament, let's do this dream match one more time. Because there are a lot of people that have never seen them compete before. And for the first timers that have, congratulations. Y'all just saw an instant fucking classic. To us, this was probably one of the greatest tournament matches that existed in AEW. And it was on pay-per-view. Like, yeah, you could forget, you could erase the memory of CM Punk and Satoshi Kojima of last year. Because this was good. This was, hard-hitting. This was action-packed. This was storytelling. This was paced completely to the brim. And I love that it was very paced out like this. Started with the technical stuff, then with the chops, then we did the serious stuff where Danielson had to sell his neck. Then we got to the good shit going into the very end. This is how that shit needed to be paced out. And this is how basically an Owen Hart tournament should be. Because Owen was a very paced out technical wrestler. He didn't do things quickly like all these other motherfuckers in the modern day era. I enjoyed the hell out of this. This getting a 4.5. I love this match. This match was absolutely storytelling indeed. They didn't even have to build this up to make this into a feud. No, the match itself is what was the story because this match was all about Owen. So there's your story. Fucking great. 4.5. Next match, we had got Timeless Toni Storm defending her AEW Women's World Championship against Shirakawa Mina. This was 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Go ahead, great one. Let's ramble on.
Crazily enough, this match had not crazy, but like having a lot of heat makes sense, but this had some of the most heat on the show. Like the crowd was really into this. And it goes to my point about the people being more a fan of the crowd being more a fan of general just American wrestling TV and then not, as spread out because this has obviously been a big story on AEW TV over the last few months, Tony and Mariah and Mia and all that. And so it's worked out like because everybody's invested. The people know Mina, they like Mina, they want to see more of Mina. So you've successfully gotten over an entirely new person to the audience. So if you want to talk about storytelling, this story has succeeded on several different fronts.
Now all you got to do is make her all elite.
Yeah. I mean, she's signed right now, but if ever the time comes, you make her all elite. But yeah, this match was very good work between Tony and Mina. Down to the Germans, the suplexes, big knees, everything. They put in the work, and they had the story to supplant it with Mariah at ringside. Looking incredible, incredible. I must say for a third time, incredible a fourth time. Yes. But yeah, at the end of it, you wondered how she was going to play into, the finish and everything. And it ended up just being, Tony was able to hit Storm Zero, get the big win. And at the end of it, you pay off the big bit of the angle with Mariah bringing them together. Like, all right, you've wrestled. Can you now stop fighting? Because I love you both. And Tony was like, all right, I will shake your hand, Mina. She shook her hand. And then Mariah said, how about you hug, though? And then Tony was like, all right, come here, we'll hug. And then they hug. And then Mariah said, come here. And everybody said, "What? What are they doing? What are they doing?" Like, it was so funny. I'm in the crowd. Everybody's cheering because of the handshake where we're all clapping. We're like, "Yeah, that was great." And then they hug, and we're like, the crowd is chanting "Hug it out" because whenever two people shake hands in wrestling, you just chant "Hug it out" now. Daniel Bryan and
I'm
Kane ruined that
watching
for
this,
everybody.
and I'm
And
hearing
then
assholes yell "kiss."
there were guys right below me. It's like they were like, "Kiss her, you should kiss." And then Mariah's like, "Come here," and then I look at the dudes next to me. We're like, "No, wait, are they gonna wait a minute?" And then they do, and everybody pops, and it's a big thing. And then listen, it was the last day of Pride Month. The Pride Parade was that day in the
That
city.
too.
So shouts out. Why not? Why not do it? It's all
One
love.
last
Love is
time.
love.
One last time.
One last time. One last time. Because love is love, and love wins. And that was the point of this story. Love wins. Because Mariah loved Tony, and she loved Mina, and she didn't want them to fight over her. So now they're all good, and love wins. So again, fun story, fun match. I'm gonna give it a good and a half.
First of all, I'm gonna say this now. Mina. God damn. That's it. Tony, you.
I agree.
What the fuck? What the fuck, bro? Again, like I said, back to the whole Marilyn Monroe, Lana Del Rey type shit coming out here with the Statue of Liberty. The crowd chanted earlier, "We want fire," right? Look at that, crowd. You finally got what you wanted. You got the fire.
Yeah, fire.
Assholes.
Fire. We got a fire.
Fucking twats. Like, again, these crowds in AEW shows are fucking weird. I don't understand why it is that you need fire. I get it. AEW's for the sickos, but that's for Wednesdays. That's
You know
not
what
Saturdays.
it is? You know what it is? They actually set a nigga on fire. So now we have the expectation in AEW. Yo, y'all set niggas on fire here. We want fire.
Yeah, I mean, besides all that bullshit, I love this match. This match was everything that I really wanted. I got Joshi wrestling. I got storytelling in the Joshi wrestling. And I got a woman caught in the middle of this rivalry of Joshi wrestling. Now, first of all, I liked Mariah's dress, number one. Number two, I liked how she kept the Joshi tradition of everyone gets their flowers. But she did it before the match, which was weird. I was kind of expecting that after, because that's always the tradition. It's like after the main event or like some like big event that they do with two women closing out the show. After we give them their flowers and all this other stuff, they get a big check, whatever. It's a bit of a nitpick, but whatever. I'm okay with it because Tony Khan is at least showing the spirit of Joshi wrestling in North American product. We don't get to see a lot of that very often. And the fact that this gets shown is a rarity. So have that. That's a treasured moment right there, people. The match, though. Yo, these two women were working. They were absolutely working. And I enjoyed every minute of it. I literally enjoyed it. It didn't have to have Mariah get involved in the conundrum of this match of finding out who is she going to be siding with. The match went how it went. They fought well. They fought with heart. They had that Joshi in them, which is what I was expecting in this match, and I saw it. We got a clean victory out of it too, which again, it's a rarity for a heel to win a match clean like this. Then we got the ending. When they shook hands, first of all, Mina's facial expressions when they shook hands and they hugged, it was like the Mega Powers, type shit.
Yeah, it was.
And then the moment happened where Mariah May played the role of Madonna, Christina Aguilera was Mina Shirakawa, and Britney Spears was Toni Storm.
Oh my
They
God,
sang,
it was that.
they did their song and dance. They had their moment. They hugged, they shook hands. But now it's time to give the people what they really wanted. Because let me admit this right now, I came. Everybody in the chat came. You came.
I mean, for
Everybody that was
God's
with you in
sakes,
UBS came. Okay,
for God's
when they
sakes.
kissed, for God's sakes, everybody fucking came. And you can't sit here and lie to me about this because you were there.
Listen, everybody was very happy. We were all very happy.
Everybody had an orgasm, and you know what? It was well needed. It was well fucking needed. Because let me tell you right now, I bitch about the horniness in wrestling, but that's when WWE goes out of control with it. AEW hasn't been doing a lot of that, but when it's necessary, it's necessary. And this was the necessary right here that we needed. And honestly, this is what woke me the fuck up. This is what woke me up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, they're gonna combine? They're gonna kiss and combine? With all of our lips combined, we are superwoman. Now, let's get to the negative of what I was gonna explain earlier. When they sealed that with a kiss, this was going through my mind. Oh fuck, we're not done with the Outcast yet.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. But now they're together. Well, Mina might be leaving though.
No. They're gonna. I feel like they're gonna be keeping her around for a while. Like we're gonna be seeing her for the next couple of shows because this is why I said, "Oh fuck, we're not done with these Outcast bitches yet. We need to finish them off."
Well, yeah, I guess you could maybe do one more trios match with them and then blow it off and then be done with it then.
Because I feel like this is where Mina's gonna be around for a while because she's gonna be with Mariah due to their whole little tag team stuff, and accompanying her during the Owen Hart Cup, since we all know, without a shadow of a doubt, Mariah May is winning this one this year. I don't care if it's Willow. I don't care if it's Stat going into the finals. They are facing Mariah May, and they are going to put Mariah May over.
Yep, it's Mariah.
But overall, I'll give the match a bars. It was really good. You know, and that was another thing that I don't give AEW a lot of credit for. They were doing a lot of promo packages for certain matches, and this one was one of them. And they put out a really good promo package indeed for this. And the story behind that promo package was very well told, and it was very well told in the match. And that's one thing that I can't give AEW bullshit about.
Like, I think this resonated so much with so many fans because it's a soap opera style story. Like it's a story WWE would do. And I say that not in a bad way. I say that in a way where, again, soap opera-y. Like there's a lot of different emotional twists and turns and character work and promo work and like stuff that like AEW storytelling a lot of the time is generally kept to wrestling and promos, and that's more or less it.
And this was that soap opera feel too. Because you know what got me? That Toni Storm promo where she's barefooted standing on glass and she's basically cutting the promo of her life. I'm like, oh, you have now sold me. You sold me. Now, and I gave this a 3.5. Did I?
You gave it bars, didn't you? You gave it bars.
Yeah, I'm putting that up. This is getting a 4.5. This is great. Oh my God, this is great. The theatrics, the storytelling, the wrestling. Awesome.
Theatrics. That's a great word for it. Theatrics.
Yes. Yeah. I went too long on that one, but it needed to be. Next match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy in what I could say a special singles match. Yeah. This was 16 minutes and 20 seconds. This was the AEW / New Japan match next to the world title. All right, go ahead, TJ. Ramble on.
Yes, and this is where I lost the title. I picked Orange. I picked Orange expecting Naito to be the New Japan win for the evening because I knew Naito would win. I picked him to win. So I was like, they'll probably give Orange the win because they usually give Orange the win, right? But I guess Tony is now locked in with telling the story of Orange Cassidy, going on a bit of a spiral. And now he's actually losing some matches. It would have been nice if he could have lost to Trent. But
I know, right? What the fuck?
Yeah, sure. Now he can lose some matches. But no, this match was really fucking good. As I expected. Like, I did see Zack Sabre Jr. saying in the press, if you think Orange Cassidy isn't a great wrestler, you're a fucking idiot. Which we say that all the time. So that's not new. But just to see another great wrestler who gets in the ring with Orange Cassidy and is like, yo, no, this guy's the real deal. Like, at one point through his detractors start to look at all the guys who have wrestled Orange Cassidy and all have come out of it like, yeah, that guy's really good. and still want to be mad because he puts his hands in his pockets or whatever. Like, I don't get it. Whatever. Anyway, this match had a bunch of, cool Zack Sabre Jr. technical wrestling that you would expect, and also had a great Orange Cassidy countering Zack Sabre Jr.'s technical wrestling. Like, the finishing sequence where they're trading the rollback pins, and then Orange does one where he puts his hands in his pockets before rolling back into his pin.
That was amazing.
That shit was awesome. Dude, I will never get tired of watching Orange Cassidy do like really good, like either technical mat wrestling or lucha or just like really intricate wrestling moves with his hands in his pockets. That shit is cool. That shit's fucking cool. There's no there's no other way I could put it any more simplistically than that. It's cool. But also Sabre getting into some of the orangeisms, like he was doing the lazy kicks and shit like that. It was all very fun. And again, just another boon to how much of, I say it every time I watch him, but how much improvement I think Zack Sabre Jr. has made as an overall performer in his time and over the course of his career. Because he was always obviously a great technical wrestler. Like, he always had that. That was his base bag. But he's expanded on that so much in terms of, character work and personality and things like that. And you need that stuff to successfully wrestle a guy like an Orange Cassidy, because obviously he can do your technical stuff with you as easily as anybody, but can you play to his strengths as well? Can you match him in character work? And I feel like Zack did a very good job of doing that in this match. So I'm giving this a bars. I like this a hell of a lot. Hell of a lot.
I have been saying for a while how and this was, after, like, before the losses started coming in for Orange, that like pushing this man way too strong. His matches are not starting to feel believable, even after all the bullshit that he was put through. We're still putting this man over. Now it's like after the whole Trent, like the whole Trent thing, that still pisses everybody off. But now the losing is starting to come in, and going to this Forbidden Door. I was really nervous here for a minute. I really was, because I thought Tony Khan was gonna pull one out of his ass and be like, you know what, Orange, take this win. This was the match that still kept me and Young Wolf on. This was the 5th match, and we were already 5-0 after this match. Watching this, very technical, very amazing. Again, yeah. I've been watching Orange Cassidy since the Indies. I saw him live in BCW. I saw him live in the IWC. This guy had something. I didn't believe it at first. I didn't want to believe the hype. I thought for a second I was just looking at a joke character when I saw this. But then, after watching a couple of more shows and meeting him in person and all this other stuff, I'm like, oh, fuck. This guy's actually cool. And wrestling just gets better and better and better. It's the creativity. It's the genuine creativity that some of these wrestlers have, that they could pull off what they're doing. And Orange could do that. But here, he was being mocked. No doubt about it. Like, there are the moments where, people will mock him, but at this point, Zack was not playing. And Zack is that type of nigga that doesn't come to play.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin Nash, with your adjectives.
Look at the adjective.
Look, they're shooting. They're fucking shooting already. I can honestly say without a shadow of a doubt, this was the most technical that I've seen Orange Cassidy with Zack Sabre, and it was fucking great. I mean, Zack Sabre was out here pulling off submissions like he was in a Tekken game. Just chain submission after chain submission. Straight up joint manipulation, breaking fingers, snapping wrists. Yo, every time Zack Sabre Jr. got dragon screwed, I was worried. There was one where his knee literally tweaked. Like you could see that shit almost come out of socket. I'm like, oh my God. I got so scared.
Wrestlers are getting kind of nasty with the dragon screws lately.
And I'm like, yo, didn't we learn our lesson last time? Like, you know how to counter this shit, Zach. You did it with Danielson.
Yeah.
And it's like he didn't learn from before. He didn't counter this shit. He's like, I'll take you, fucking dickhead. And I'm just like, all right, cool, whatever. I was absolutely shocked when Zach made fucking Orange tap out after that just one big spot where they're doing like all the crazy pins, the reversals, and all that stuff. And then Zach is like, all right, fuck this. I'm just gonna chain submission you all over again. It's like Tekken King mode, activate. I'll put you in a pretzel. I'm gonna get you in the rings of Saturn. I'm gonna grab your legs and I'm gonna twist those and I'm gonna pull them shits back. I'm gonna put your arm around my leg and I'm just gonna hold your shit and I'm gonna be like, and Orange is like, yeah, I quit. And it's over.
Man.
I'm just like, yes.
Orange to the control said, I ain't playing rank no more.
It's like everybody that went for Orange, I'm like, yes. Now we got a shot. I will give this match a fucking 4.5. This was fun. This was technicality at its finest. My word.
Scraps. Straight graps.
And then it was Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata taking on the learning tree of Jericho, Big Bill, and Jeff Cobb. This was 13:25. Go ahead, man. Ramble on.
Did y'all hear the Please Retire chants on TV? I hope y'all heard the Please Retire.
I heard them shits.
Thank you.
I heard it. I mean, look, Long Island, you're fucking weird. Chris Jericho was born and raised in Long Island, and you boo this man. You put some respect on Chris Jericho's name, first of all. Second of all, yeah, please retire.
Chris Jericho, first of all, he moved from Long Island like when he was like 5 or whatever to move to Winnipeg. He was only here because his dad played for the Rangers. Get out of here, Chris. Frightened. Yeah, this was fine. Like I said the whole time, when this match comes on, I'm gonna get up and go. I did get up and go real quick during the entrances, but I came back by the time the match was starting. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll watch the match. And like, it wasn't bad. The match wasn't bad. And usually the Jericho stuff isn't bad. It's just, again, it has the same issue that we're gonna keep talking about. He needs to go away. He needs to go away. And until he goes away, there's always going to be this ceiling on how good any of his stuff really is. There's always going to be this sort of cloud hanging over not only Jericho, but the people that he's fucking associating with. Like, I want to see Jeff Cobb do different shit, do cool shit. I want to see Big Bill do different shit. Like,
yeah,
I want to
see Jeff Cobb defend the fucking TV title. He even said it at a New Japan show that he wanted to defend the belt at Forbidden Door, and everyone was saying, all right, let's get Claudio on the card.
Yeah, like, you could have popped off Jeff Cobb versus Claudio. You could have did Jeff Cobb and Garcia, or like whoever was available.
You could have done Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah, straight up Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe. That got the biggest pop of the whole match. Cobb and Joe working together.
Me.
Yeah, so like, people should have, like, you should have just did that. You could have just did that. Had Joe be like, hey, I lost the world title. I'm on a run. I'm trying to get a title again. Hey, Jeff Cobb, you got a belt. I'm gonna fuck you up. Simple. It's Forbidden Door season. Simple. But again, this Jericho shit, it minimizes everyone else that's involved. Like, Joe, Hook, and Shibata are all guys who should be doing something way different and way cooler, especially around this time of year, like Forbidden Door season. Shibata, like I want to see Shibata involved, bro. Like imagine the shit you could bring up with putting him across from a Tanahashi or a Naito or whoever. Like Shibata has real history in fucking New Japan, obviously. So
Yeah, I
why
feel
not
like
involve
he
him in that?
rarely gets involved, and like if they put him in something, it has to be with a set of teams. Like we don't have something set up like 1-on-1 for Shibata or anything like that.
Yeah, and I'm even cool with Shibata doing like a trios match or whatever, but not this Jericho shit. That's the only problem. Like if you would have did Joe, Hook, and Shibata versus say like just 5 guys. Let's say you bring in fucking Sonata and Yamura or whatever. Like you do 3 just 5 guys, and you do just a match like that. I think that would have been pretty cool. But like the Jericho stuff, I get it. Jericho is still, as much as we're talking about, he needs to go. He still has Catch as a name, so you're gonna put him on shows. But again, I feel like as long as you continue to do this stuff with Jericho, you're going to minimize everything that you think you're getting out of it. Even the finish. The finish was Hook hitting Jericho with the Judas effect and pinning him, which was cool. And I was happy to see it, but it's also like, all right, I don't feel like, yay, Hook is elevated. I feel like, all right, can Hook now do something else? He pinned Jericho. Great. So even the Jericho elevation isn't as strong as it used to be. So I'll give this a solid good with the caveat that Jericho, please go away because you're never going to get any higher than a goods at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I when this match came on, I kind of just ignored it. Only because, yeah, it's Jericho. Don't get me wrong, gimmick is great. It's original, it's funny, it's a little hokey, but it's also that issue where it's like, my man's, I can't miss you if you don't go away. And that's always been the issue going forward. I feel like after the Jericho Appreciation Society was done, he should have been gone. He should have taken a couple of months off, come back, something fresh, something new. It was like, no, once he was done with one thing, it was now like they give him the FTW title. All of a sudden, here comes this new gimmick the following couple of days later. It's like, wait, what the fuck? But knowing Jericho, even if it was overnight or 2 years, he came up with a new gimmick, it would still get over like hotcakes. And this one is, and this gimmick, you may hate it, you may not like it, you may not want to see it on TV. It's fucking over. I'm telling you, the only reason you can give me that look all you want. I know you gave me that fucking look. I'm not stupid. So, look, it's only to sell tickets to watch Jericho get his ass beat. Did it work? Yes. 11,000 people paid to watch Jericho get his ass beat.
We paid to watch Swerve and Ospreay.
That too. But you all pay to see Jericho get his ass kicked.
We didn't even want Jericho on this show.
That analogy still fucking works because he technically got what you wanted. Jericho didn't go away, but he lost. Jericho would have won. You guys would have went ape shit. It would have been like if the Yankees lost the World Series and you guys would have literally started a fucking riot.
I don't think we were rioting. It wasn't a riot type crowd.
The match, okay, for what it wasn't that bad. It's just, it had the stench of one man basically diminishing the momentum of what could be a couple of good stars like Jeff Cobb, who was a killer out there, but the fuck. Big Bill, who really needs to fucking, it's working with Big Bill right now, but he still needs more work.
I actually think Big Bill is really good in the stupid fucking faction. I just wish he would do something else.
Yeah, like the wrestling wise, he still needs a lot of work because he was slower than molasses out there, bro. Like, bro, I've seen slow. We saw Lita being slow at Mania 39. This man was absolutely slow. Jericho, Jericho does this thing, whatever. That's all I can really say. Everyone else, I feel like didn't benefit from winning this match. Like, yeah, the cool moment was Hook really stiffing Jericho with the Judas effect because he clocked him for real with the jaw on that with that elbow. He caught him for real on that shit. But it was still the whole please retire. There were CM Punk chants galore. And I'm just like, oh my God. Shibata didn't even need to be in this. They just put him in there because he's close associates with Joe and Hook. Whatever. I just wish they stopped making him a fucking cameraman. Like, show this man. It's going to get a 2.5. It gets a 2.5. The match was still okay, but you guys were dead. That's all I'm going to say. You guys were dead.
Yeah.
And so was I. Like, this should have been the match that I was like, yo, just put me to sleep. For how long was this again? For the fucking 13 minutes and 25 seconds that they had, I could have taken a nap.
Could have. I still 13-minute nap.
Yeah, but again, this is where I fucked up because I went for the learning tree and because this is my thing. I was really going for them to win because if we're gonna make this learning tree faction feel like it's something, I feel like a big win or cheap win could have benefited from this, and it didn't. I was also kind of expecting Murder Grandpa to show up since he kind of wanted to face Jericho.
Yeah, what the hell happened to Suzuki? Did he just say, fuck you, I want to fight you, and that was it?
Yeah, that was it. That's what I was telling you. He basically, they had a video package on that Dynamite, and he was like, fuck you. I want to fight you for the World Championship. And then when we went live on Rampage, that's when Jericho was like, hi, guys. You want to know who my fucking partner is? You'll find out Saturday. Bye, guys. And then we find out Saturday, and then all of a sudden, he fucking loses. I'm like, yo, this could have been the perfect win for the learning tree just to get on Hook and Joe and Shibata's bad side. Just to get them even more amped. And then quite possibly one of them could win for the World Championship and go back to the FTW. Like, literally, give that belt to Joe. Just give it to fucking Joe. Give him the FTW World title.
Samoa Joe as the FTW champion would be very cool.
It would be very cool. It would make Taz very proud, and it wouldn't have to be his son again. Because we don't need a third Hook FTW World title reign. At this point, we gotta start making Hook feel more vulnerable. We gotta stop protecting that kid.
If there's any spiritual successor to Taz, that obviously
Joe.
Apart from his son, it's Joe. Yeah,
it's Joe. And I'm not talking about their TNA history. Trust me, that was bad for what it was. But their history together for when they had that time was really good.
Yeah, and just as a general presence and persona, like if you go back and look at Taz, obviously he's not as big as Joe, but in terms of what he brought to his persona in ECW, towel over the head, walk into the ring with the menace, like that's Joe. That's Joe's whole deal.
You know what? I feel like that's what, and I know I'm jumping into this, I feel like that's what Solo Sikoa is trying to be. He's trying to be that TNA Samoa Joe. But minus the Samoan paint, towel over his head,
It's
the
not
shorts.
a bad person to copy. It's a great person to copy.
It's not, but Joe never had a faction. I'm not counting the Beatdown Clan. That didn't last that long.
Yeah.
And the Main Event Mafia, nobody talks about that.
No.
Nobody talks about that.
Yeah. Not usually. Yeah, not usually.
All right. We got 4 matches left. This is where it gets really good. Jack Perry, Konosuke Takeshita, Ring of Honor World Champion Mark Briscoe, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and ELP, who finally made it on the main card, are all competing to become the new TNT champion in a ladder match. This was 16 minutes and 55 seconds. Go ahead, TJ. Ramble on.
Yeah, this was pretty fucking crazy. This was up there is one of the better AEW ladder matches, I actually think. Takeshita. That dude just makes everything better. He's just a monster, man. Like, is there anything Konosuke Takeshita can't do? Like, he went out here and murdered motherfuckers in this ladder match. That Blue Thunder bomb that he hit on ELP through them tables. The tables exploded. Like, I'm watching from all the way back toward the ramp. And I look at the other side. I just see little bits of gimmick wood flying up in the air. I'm like, yo, he killed him. Yo. Oh my God. That shit was awesome. Like, it generally, like, the story of the match generally is obviously Takeshita's with Don Callis, so we don't like him. And Jack Perry, this little dickhead, is a little dickhead, and he's with the Elite. We don't like him either. So they jumped them immediately and took them out, and then worked the match around there. And the little stories that they built up throughout with Leo and Dante and all that stuff sort of came back in. Mark Briscoe's a nut. Damn near. I hope I would like to think he's okay. I hope he's okay. I hope he didn't fucking Copeland himself.
Oh my
with
God,
that crazy
yeah.
jump off the ladder. You're a nut, chicken. But yeah, just awesome stuff throughout this ladder match. Brutal, violent bumps, like the J Driller on the ladder was nasty. Just again, we talk about it all the time with modern day ladder matches. What's up, Parker Curry? We talk about it all the time with modern ladder matches, but they've done so much in ladder matches that it's kind of hard to keep the formula and the ideas fresh and continue to do new things. And I feel like this match did a good job of bringing in some different and slightly new things to the ladder match. So yeah, I'm gonna give this a bars.
So here's one thing that I noticed. I don't know if you noticed this, but AEW did something smart here with these ladder matches. They had 2 different sets of ladders for this match. They had the thin silver ones. Those are the gimmicky ladders that they're going to use to kill each other with, use as weapons. And then they have your normal standard black ladders to actually climb up that don't break.
Yes.
Learn from this, WWE. Learn from this. They utilized this perfectly. You know, okay, the ladders that we climb up on, we can still use them as weapons. We set it up as a bridge. First of all, let me say this right now. Konosuke, you killed Jack Perry with a fucking discus forearm.
Yeah, bro.
You killed Leo Rush. You killed Dante Martin with some ladders. And then you killed ELP with a Blue Thunder. Yo, when he did that and the table crashed, that is how you crash a table.
God.
My God.
Tremendous
My God,
table,
that's how you crash the table. There was a I am the table spot in this match.
There was.
I was it with Mark?
With Mark, yeah, I think it was with Mark.
Was it a regular table or oh no, it was a regular table. I think that's the one where he had the ladder set up on the fucking apron and he jumped off. My word. So yeah, but Mark Briscoe, you're crazy as fuck too. Pulling Sabu shit, making Konosuke Takeshita look like a goddamn ham and cheese sandwich. Table, Konosuke, ladder. You jump off a chair off the ropes and then you flip and then the ladder just bends on Konosuke and the table breaks. That was crazy. ELP, man. ELP did his thing here. There's one where the ladder was bridged on the corner. Who the fuck went through that shit? Oh, yeah, that was probably Leo Rush. Dante Martin having Ring of Honor flashbacks all over again. My leg! Oh, my leg!
My leg!
And we were like, oh, shit, here he goes again, selling his fucking injuries. But, you know, it just made the most sense for it to be where it needed to be because if they're really trying to make the Elite be on top, why not just give the gold to Jack Perry? Honestly, this made Konosuke Takeshita look like an absolute star. I don't know why he should have been the other choice to win the TNT title, because at this point, Don Callis' family got no more championships ever since Kyle lost his World Television title in Mexico.
I'm running out of gold. This is bullshit.
This should have been it right here. Like, again, not trying to shit on Jack Perry, but crowd, you fucking crowd, what is wrong with you? We want real glass. We want fire.
There was a lot of, especially at the beginning, there were a lot of crazy chants around Jack, because like Jack Perry comes out and then the CM Punk people start, and then that pops off. So then the people that don't want to hear that shit, they start chanting at them to shut the fuck up. So then now everybody's chanting for real glass, and it was a mess. It was a mess.
It was absolutely, that whole crowd was just everywhere within this whole match.
Yeah.
That it was really becoming a distraction. And that's one thing that I hate. I don't like when a distraction comes in wrestling. If it's like some sort of booking interference or some stupid finish or the crowd. Like if the crowd has to hijack a match because they want to express their feelings, do that in the comfort of your own home when nobody else needs to know your fucking business.
I mean, I don't mind.
Nobody was here to go out of their way to chant CM Punk. And let me say this right now. I didn't bring it up during the 6-man tag with the Elite and the Acclaim because that was all over the place. CM Punk, fuck the Elite, CM Punk. Like, bro.
It happened there too.
Yeah. It's getting on a lot of people's nerves. I'm not saying it's getting on my nerves, but I don't need that in my wrestling.
Yeah, like,
I don't think anybody needs that.
I don't have a problem with a crowd expressing itself or whatever, but I do think it's kind of like, lame that we're a year removed essentially from all of it. CM Punk and AEW, all of it. Yeah. So like, can you not let it go? Like, let it go, man. CM Punk is in WWE. If you want to see him, go to a WWE show. And then Jack Perry is here doing his own thing, completely unrelated to it. Like, they obviously showed the video or whatever, but like, that was it. Yeah. That was just them capitalizing on the heat of the situation. And like, let's move on now. Move on.
And again, that was the shit that you were telling me before we went on air. Like, yo, the crowd was being really IWC here.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what a lot of it was. Like, a lot of those people that they see Jack Perry and their mind just goes to CM Punk, and it's like, and you like I said, there were those people that started up, and then there were the people that weren't trying to hear that shit that came right behind them, like, no, shut up, and they started chanting them down, like, because there's a lot of us, and I'm one of them for sure, that we're sick of that shit, man. Like, it happened, it's over, it's over. It.
Like, I'm sick of it too. Like, I don't want to go to a WWE show. CM Punk's not there. All of a sudden, they're all chanting CM Punk. I don't want to go on an AEW show and the Elite are on the card, and all of a sudden, here comes CM Punk chants, CM Punk. Like, at that moment in time, it's just like, it ruins the ability to enjoy watching professional wrestling because of you fucking idiots going out of your way to chant that type of shit. All because you hate these certain wrestlers that you think got this guy fired from the company. He got himself in trouble. He's personally responsible for what happened in AEW. Not the shit that you all still believe that, oh, you got caught fire and set the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Like get over yourselves.
Like, I'm never a fan of policing crowds and telling them what to do. Like, you pay your money, you react how you want. But like, again, get over it, bro. Like, this is different from just reacting to a match, because you're not even reacting to a match. You're seeing a guy and deciding you want to chant something at him because of your perceived feelings on whatever their situation is. That shit, you don't think that's weird? That shit weird.
Let me ask you guys a question. When you guys watched WCW and WWF back in the 90s, Did you ever watch a WCW match and you ever heard a WCW crowd chanting, "We won Austin! We won Austin!" What the fuck, guys?
Niggas in WCW were chanting for Goldberg. That's what they wanted to see.
This shouldn't be what we have to be fucking going towards. Like, bro, be happy CM Punk is back in wrestling overall. Get over the bullshit that you have with the Elite. Here's the thing. I don't like the Elite, but I'm not going to sit here and, do the, CM Punk. No, because I'm not you.
Hazel can bitch about the Elite for hours, but won't say a word about CM Punk. Why can't y'all be like that?
I won't say a fucking word about CM Punk because guess what? I said what I needed to say about CM Punk. We've been talking about that shit for a whole fucking year. Cannibalism everywhere in AEW. Oh my god.
We made every joke we can make. Like, let's bury it, man.
Like, we buried it because there's no point in talking about it anymore. The man is back in professional wrestling. We're done.
Yeah, you want to see him? He's in WWE. He's feuding with Drew McIntyre, right? Yeah.
Well, all you guys that literally, are so obsessed with all this, you're the ones that are still real to me. Damage. You're the still real to me guy. Like, come on, bro. Like, stop that. This is 2024. Kayfabe is dead. Let it go. Put down the Cheetos. Go make a run. Go run a mile. And go live your life. Stop bitching about the Elite. Stop bitching about Hangman. Stop bitching about Punk.
Shout out this comment real quick. Creeds and Bloodsport is kind of crazy, and I'm going to watch the shit out of that. GCW is going to get gutted eventually, but until that time comes, I'm going to enjoy with these crossovers.
GCW will be a Peacock exclusive under the management of WWE.
Oh my god, that sounds horrible.
Brett Lauderdale is about to make WWE Peacock money in 2 years. Just watch. Wait till WWE goes to Netflix. That's when everything starts coming into play. Yeah. Triple H really want to take over the indies for real. He don't want nobody going to AEW.
Shit, it's an arms race. Shit fucked up.
But this match though, super fun, super chaotic, very, very, very dangerous, and very safe. Like I said, you had ladders for climbing, you had ladders for weapons and car crashes. That's what you need to do, WWE. Learn from that. This match is getting a bars.
Hell yeah. And the GOAT is in the building. The man who won it, Jack Perry. First time here, he says.
What do you want, you bot?
What's going on, TNT champion, Jack Perry?
All right. It's time for the winner-take-all match for the AEW TBS Championship and the New Japan Pro Wrestling Women's Strong Openweight Championship. Mercedes Moné, the CEO, taking on Stephanie Vaquer. This match was 17 minutes. Go ahead, TJ. Ramble on.
Shout out to the CEO. Shout out to Stephanie Vaquer, who I think put on a star-making performance. Like, she had everyone buzzing. People online talking about sign her. I'm like, bro, they're not gonna just snatch a fucking wrestler from the companies they're partnering with. They'll bring her back. You want to see her again? Just have to bring her back. She's great. She's tremendous. Their first match, I thought, in the tournament, back when, was really good, and I thought this was better. I thought this was even better.
Yes.
Because Stephanie took control early, and it looked like she was going to try to play heel a little bit, but then I guess at whatever point people realized, hey, wait a minute, Mercedes is from Boston, and there was a Boston fan down in the front row. But yeah, it was like Mercedes from Boston, so she started getting booed. And
so wait, let me get this straight. I know that this is not the real reason why the crowd fucking did what they needed to do, but let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that there was a fan wearing a Boston shirt and somebody was like, yeah, we got a Boston market, and they were just like, boo!
Yeah, they clowned Boston.
First of all, fuck you. Now, go ahead, continue. I'm gonna say what I really gotta say later, because that was really pissed me off. That all that started because there was a fan wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. Like, guys, fuck off. There was a fucking Indiana Pacers player on SmackDown.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
Maybe that's why we had New York sports fans were in their feelings because there was a fuck the Celtics and then fuck the Red Sox chant. I was like, all right, yeah, fuck the Celtics, but let's watch the match. When they chanted fuck the Red Sox, I was like, you know what? You're right. Fuck the Red Sox. You're right. I can't argue with that. But yeah, with the crowd sort of turning on Mercedes, like Stephanie's work didn't diminish at any rate under that. It still worked. It still worked perfectly out there. The submission exchanges were very, very good. A lot of strong stiffness. She did the whole skull fuck move. I know there's a real name for that move, but I always just call it the skull fuck.
I was even yelling at like, oh my gosh, she's skull fucking her.
She's skull fucking her. So with Stephanie skull fucked her, it was great. Mercedes bumped great for it. Like Mercedes is a great bumper. I say that like every time I watch her wrestle. She's a tremendous bumper.
Yes.
So yeah, solid. I'm gonna give this bars for this. I agree that Stephanie Vaquer is absolutely someone that should be brought back whenever you can bring her back. She has commitments, so we can't just have her around all the time. But bring her back when you can for sure because she is TV ready beyond belief. So yeah, shouts out. Jack, his top three are Tony and Mina, Orange and Zach, and Swerve versus Ospreay, which is a great top three, and one I think I would agree with. Says, I find the Mercedes hate funny because she's in AEW. She's the same Sasha Banks just because she's not in WWE. She gets a ton of hate. It's wild, man. Yeah, and that's what it is. She's not in WWE anymore, so the people that think of WWE as the pinnacle of the business hate her now. It is what it is. It's strange, but it is what it is.
But again, it's like it doesn't have to be like a WWE or AEW thing. It's just overall her person. She's not a very likable person.
There's people that don't like her for different reasons, but I'm just talking about the people that don't like her because of that.
Yeah, like that's a stupid analogy, and I think everyone really needs to stop thinking like that. Okay, because here's a fun fact, people. She's not like that 24/7. She's not in gimmick mode 24/7. Okay. Yeah. What'd you give this match again? You gave it a 4.5?
Yeah,
okay. Bars. Now, match was great. Like you said, I could agree with you 100%. It was better than their first encounter during that tournament. Great encounter. This one topped it completely. Very, very skillful, very unique, very technical. More importantly, there was a lot at stake here. 2 titles were on the line. It was very important that they had to earn the spot. The fact that, it was, I think it said 17 minutes. Yeah, the fact that they gave them 17 minutes, way above 10 minutes, way above 15, that absolutely says a lot. And indeed, yes, there was a story here. These 2 women were feuding before. That was correct. Mercedes Moné wanted to win a title that she was supposed to win in the first place, but had to call the audible. Yeah. I really enjoyed this match, but there is a problem. There is one problem. And that is this. Is this really working? Is this really, really working with Mercedes?
I think it is.
I honestly, despite the whole fuck Boston chants, there were more to it than that. Like Mercedes was getting booed.
Yeah.
At some moments. And I'm not going to say this because it was a Boston thing. Because trust me, I can tell you right now, everybody in New York would have booed immediately when Justin Roberts announced that she was from Boston, Massachusetts. But no, everybody was cheering. Everybody was doing the dance. Everybody was chanting CEO. But when the match was over, it was a whole different story.
You know what I think it is? I think a similar thing happened in the Willow match.
Is this gonna work?
They chant CEO, they do the dance, and they do all that, and then when she actually wrestles, they're like, "Oh wait, I think I actually like her opponent a little bit more." So then they start cheering the opponent over her, and then I think people like Mercedes But so far, since she's still new and fresh to the company, they're vibing with her other opponents a bit more. Her big name opponents, anyway.
But also, do we feel like the character of Mercedes is being hot-shotted because first
You can debate
pay-per-view
that, I guess.
she
You can
wins her
debate that.
title, then the next pay-per-view she wins this title? Like, are we hot-shotting her to the moon and all this other shit? Like, here's the thing. Get it? One of the highest paying women in the company right now. One of the biggest wrestlers that they have right now. Is she one of the best in the world? Absolutely not. I think that's an exaggeration that that Mercedes likes to say to herself. And I think, she blows a lot of smoke out of her ass sometimes.
I
But
think she is one of the best in the world.
she does prove it in these matches. But my thing is, as a business, are we looking at this? Is this bad for business that we're hot-shotting her?
I don't think so, because she's a big star. Like, I think sometimes, like, AEW doesn't normally do this. I think that's what's making it feel different. They don't normally, even when they sign big stars, they don't normally, like, they signed CM Punk and didn't even have him sniff the world title for like 6 months. And then he won it. But until that point, he was in other feuds. Like, he wasn't touching titles, because in AEW, you generally work your way up. That's how everyone's done it. But Mercedes
In the past 3
has
months,
skipped the line. Nobody really skips the line in AEW. I think that's what it is. Mercedes skipped the line.
speaking of skipping the line, that is another thing. Ranking system.
It's gone again.
Mm-hmm.
I gave up.
The fact that, like, the ranking system has officially been given up on AEW just proves that they don't care about the wins and losses anymore. They just care about the big stars that they have and how they're going to push them, and how we're going to basically get them to make them get AEW to the very top. Again, this is one of the issues that's the problem, because you got all this young talent that can be utilized and used to a certain degree to make AEW feel like a company that could be used for the younger talent, instead of making it feel like, oh, look at all the former WWE guys that we have, and we're pushing them to the moon because they're going to get pushed, and fuck them, fuck that company. We're going to make them more big stars and whatever. I just feel like Tony Khan on drugs in 2021.
Oh, no. Well, listen. Again, like I said, I understand the concern around double belting up Mercedes this quick, but I think she is one of the stars with catch to her name that's worth it. And like our TNT champion says, when she fully turns, I think that will also help the situation a lot. Because I think she is still in the process of, she's baby facing right now because she's new, but I think she'll eventually fully turn heel, instead of like teasing it during their big matches.
I don't know, man. Look, again, I have nothing against Mercedes Moné, the wrestler, but I have an issue with how Tony Khan actually booked this shit. And this was the problem. Again, the match was great. It was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I was looking at Stephanie's ass all night.
I'll go more now.
Hey, cameraman was really being perverted on some of these women matches. Don't think that they were showing a lot of Mina Shirakawa in that damn outfit she had on.
No, I saw the cameraman all up in Mina's. Come on, I saw him.
They were all up on Stephanie Vaquer. I'm like, by fucking God. I was just like, holy shit, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much. It's like y'all didn't even want me to focus on the match. Y'all just want me to focus on the great assets of Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh, look who's here.
Look, I'm gonna give it a I'm going to give the match I'll give it a bars. This was fun. This was fun. Fuck the crowd though. Fuck that crowd. That Boston moment
I was in there.
was WWE's version of the beach ball.
Hey, listen, it was a bit rough.
Like, look, leave the Boston people alone. Even if they living in New York, leave them motherfuckers alone, bro. Like, y'all are sheep. Y'all are dead sheep. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming all the other victims that were at the UBS
I was going to say, don't act like you win the shit and fuck the Red Sox too. I mean, we hate them motherfuckers.
I mean, yeah, we hate them, but I'm not gonna be that type of sheep to do that. Like, I like all y'all niggas do that, but I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna chill. Like,
I had to let it fly. one time.
Yeah,
For the one time.
y'all too obsessive with all this team shit. That's what it is.
Fuck the rest.
For the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh wait, we didn't even talk about Britt. Britt's back.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Britt's back.
you know, and you want to talk about Britt before I talk about it? Go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about Britt real quick before you jump to the next thing. So yeah, at the end of the match, Mercedes is celebrating, and then Doctor Will See You Now hits. She might have got the biggest pop on the show. I'm not gonna hold you. She got a huge pop. Like, I heard Doctor Will See You Now and nothing else. I just heard, Rah! Like, I stood up like oh shit, it's Britt. So Britt comes out.
What was louder, the MJF pop or the Britt Baker pop?
That's what I'm saying. I think Britt's pop was louder. Her pop was huge. Her pop was crazy. Like, again, I could barely hear her music for a moment because the crowd was going so crazy for her. So obviously, yes, Britt and Mercedes, money match. Like, Britt is AEW's biggest and arguably first homegrown women's star, going up against AEW's biggest female acquisition. Story that writes itself. So absolutely, that's going to be big money down the line if they do it at All In, which is my initial guess. Them doing it at All In, or they could, jump quicker. But my guess would be All In. But yeah, good to see Britt back. Good to see Britt back. Obviously, what we've been talking about earlier with the women's division and its growth and how good it is now. This is just another addition to it. Like, you have all these good women floating around, and then Britt Baker comes back, a big star. Women's division is in a great place.
Yes, indeed. I mean, literally, I was just asking for Jamie Hayter, and
I miss her too.
I should have brought that up when we were talking about the women's championship match, but I totally forgot. But yeah, I mean, what a great way to overshadow the CEO after she becomes Mercedes 2 belts, and all of a sudden, Doctor Will See You Now. Yo, I was going nuts. I'm like, let's fucking go! And all of a sudden, I was just like, really? They're just gonna have her stand on the ramp? That's it? They're not gonna have her walk down the aisle into the ring, have the little face-to-face with Mercedes, and I'm just like, all right, there we go. There's the money right there. Nah, we have to build this up. We have to build this up for a while. I don't think we're gonna have both the belts be defended, but I do believe only the TBS title will be defended, and I think Britt Baker will be the first female competitor in history to become not only the women's champion but the TBS champion.
I can see that. And then Jamie Hayter comes back? That'd be crazy.
I mean, that would have to be for when Tony has her match at All In, which will probably be against Mariah May. That will be when Jamie Hayter makes a return in her hometown.
Jamie Hayter return at All In, of all places, would be crazy.
I mean, I've been asking for months, for fucking months, and it's like, this is the perfect time for AEW to not do pay-per-views monthly, because now that All In is going to be close to the end of August, we have all this time to do all this building, all these lineups for matches. Yeah. We have a lot of breathing room. That's why it's like, with the title being on the line, we have to focus on the other big 2-5 pay-per-views with this Saturday coming up. We got SummerSlam. We also, if we still have the chance, got Slammiversary on the 20th of this month. Yes. So we have a lot of breathing room with AEW. Oh, and Death Before Dishonor as well.
Yes.
At the end of this month too. So again, a lot of breathing room for AEW for us to focus on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays.
I'm lost on what one has to do with the other, villain. Britt Baker and MJF and Sato.
But yeah, that's definitely going to be the All-In match, because we got to build up to that. We got to get Britt Baker back up on there, and let's start it with a Rampage match. Just to give the Rampage that feel, give the ratings a bit more boost and all that shit. But let's have her come back Wednesday during beach break, cut a promo, because we all missed the partnership between her and Tony Schiavone. My God, I missed that so much.
And they've already announced that Mercedes is doing a celebration on Dynamite, so I'm pretty sure Britt is going to interrupt that. So
there we go. There we go. Right there. There we go. Right there. All right. So let's talk about the World Heavyweight title match. Again, it was 17 minutes and 5 seconds. Jon Moxley, Naito, Tetsuya. Go ahead, TJ. Ramble on.
Okay, let me get these comments real quick. The only thing I hate about DMD getting the TBS title is it means Mercedes going after the main title. I don't have a problem with that. Britt Baker is the Becky. Oh, whatever. Becky Lynch is at home, isn't she?
I don't think she's gonna have the main title after she loses the TBS title, because she's gonna have the New Japan Pro Wrestling Women's Strong Openweight Championship.
Yeah,
and I think that's what's gonna be the focus, because again, you gotta understand, originally that belt was supposed to be for her. So even if she loses that title, the TBS title, again, it's not going to hurt her because she still has another belt in her place. It's not like they're going to pull an RVD and be like, all right, you're going to lose this belt one night, and then the other night you're going to lose this belt. No.
Hopefully she don't get caught with drugs in her car. You don't ride with Sabu, Mercedes. Yeah, no, I think Mercedes is going to get her run with the New Japan title like she was going to get. And then, I mean, when I say she will eventually move up to the main title, I don't mean like immediately. Like it could happen whenever. But I think eventually she will.
Yeah.
But Villain, you're comparing Pops. Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, Britt does have the surprise factor. But yes, let's talk about Mox and Naito. I was a little disappointed. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like, I know Naito is beat up. We talk about it all the time when we talk about Naito here. But shit, they wrestled this year, Mox and Naito. And it was really good. So I was like, hey, you know what? This might cook. This will probably cook. And nah, they ain't really get out of second gear. They ain't really got a second gear on this one. Tanahashi should have lent Naito some of his knees here. The knee power he gained when the bell rang, because for whatever reason, Naito couldn't turn it all the way on, man. I don't know. It was just unfortunate because, again, I love these guys. And obviously, like I said, they had a great match before, and I would expect a great match out of them again. But it didn't come together the way you would have wanted it to. Like, it was slow. They didn't completely mesh the way you would have wanted it at a lot of times. And it went like 18 minutes. So, it felt longer for that. So, not the best. Not the worst by any means. Like, I'm not hating on it and just saying it was awful, but definitely not their best effort. I'm gonna give this a mid-tier bad. Thankfully, Mox is free and can focus on AEW now. Fair enough. I'm gonna watch Raw now. Are you going live tomorrow? We will be live tomorrow.
We will be live tomorrow for Come Tuesday TV. It won't be Global Guts. We're gonna continue that on Sunday since we don't have anything to do on that day. But we will continue with season 2 of Nickelodeon Guts going forward.
Yes.
But yeah. Yo, yeah, I was, oh my God. And don't get me wrong, I was hyped for the rematch. Because when I saw the Windy City Riot match, that was great. That was brutal. It was violent. It was a fight. It was stiff. And it told a fucking story. I really enjoyed the rivalry that they had. But there was one issue that I had, and I'm going to say it right now, and I haven't told you this. I didn't like Moxley's run with the belt. I did not like it. I was not a fan. Was not a fan of Moxley holding on to the IWGP World Heavyweight title. Yeah, they gave it to him. Good shit. I mean, yeah, he finally achieved his goal of obtaining a title that he's been wanting for years. But I wish it would have been a stronger reign. I mean, we just watched them in a lumberjack match with the House of Torture, of all things.
Hey, that match wasn't bad.
It wasn't, but it was still goofy, hokey, cartoon attitude era bullshit. And again, the last thing that I needed in my fucking pro wrestling is this hokey attitude era cartoon bullshit.
You're gonna stream Wednesday after Dynamite? We usually stream during Dynamite. We do watch-alongs.
Yeah, but we haven't been doing them for a while.
Yeah, we haven't done them lately, but we might bring them back at some point. But usually we do watch-alongs for Raw, Rampage,
Raw, TNA, Ring of Honor,
Rampage,
Collision.
and
We
Collision.
do AEW, WWE prediction pay-per-view battles. We do exclusive Twitch streams that we can't do on YouTube due to their stupid guidelines.
Yeah, those are usually non-wrestling.
Yes. But we will be live tomorrow for Come Tuesday TV on twitch.tv/Ramblemania show. But yo, this is what I meant when I told you earlier that this was putting me to sleep. This literally was putting me to sleep, bro.
It was rough.
And, you know, crowd was dead. Even at moments where it was like, it could have gotten good, it didn't. It absolutely didn't. And it's like, yeah, Naito's at that point where it's like, he's not going to continue doing this anymore. The fact that they gave him the world title really simplified one thing. That what I said during our Wrestle Kingdom recap is it's going to be him versus Sonata part 2 in the main event. And I didn't like that stupid stipulation that Naito put out there. Oh, if I lose, I will give you my G1 spot. And I'm like, ain't no way Moxley going to Japan for 2 months to compete in the G1. And ain't no way in hell you're giving up your spot because you think you can't be IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Like, bro, you got more legs than Tanahashi at this point. You're not the Stardust genius anymore. You're old man Naito now. You know, you do Undertaker entrances at this point. You take forever to take your clothes off. So it's like I can't complain about any of that, but it's like, you know, bro, you're also going to be the one that's going away. Surprised Okada could still keep going at his age.
Yeah, I mean, he is a bit younger than them, but not by too much, and he's still decent. His body's still in good shape.
Like, here's the thing. I wasn't expecting what I saw from Windy City Riot, but I was expecting more than what they did at the Windy City Riot. I wasn't expecting blood, but I was expecting a fight. I wasn't expecting it to be violent, but I was expecting a big fight match feel. This was for the world title. And it felt like a Monday Night Raw match. Just bland and boring, and it should have had advertisements.
Oh, God.
It's a bad. Like, not saying Jon Moxley's title reign was one of the worst, but it wasn't one of my favorites. I think at this point, nobody didn't want to lose to Evil, and they just didn't want to give the belt to Evil. But that you should have just had Sonata win the main event. You should have just had him retain the belt at the fucking Wrestle Kingdom event. Why we had him lose? Like, if we know Naito can't keep up, I think the G1 is going to prove that he's not going to be able to keep up anymore, because he too, again, he's going to be probably gone from the company. Yeah. So it gets up bad. Wasn't my favorite. And this was literally putting me to sleep. But the last match, this one woke me the fuck up.
Boy, oh boy.
For the AEW World Championship, Swerve Strickland defends against Will Ospreay in the longest match of the night, next to Shingo Takagi and Bryan Danielson. This was 27 minutes and 5 seconds. TJ, let's bring this one home.
This was another perfect mission statement type of match from AEW. Like, I am no longer interested in listening to any Swerve slander on his title reign, because, like, every single step of the way they have taken, they are doing more and more to build this man up and make him look like the man. Like Swerve has been constantly, I want the ball, I want to run with the ball. And AEW is like, okay, we're gonna draw plays for you. And they've been drawing plays for him, and he's been cooking. Like the build for this is probably the best build out of any match in the card, and that was reflected in the crowd reactions. And then the work, my God. I mean, even popping off from the entrances, Ospreay with the Hayabusa tribute, Swerve bringing out Jim Jones. I was like, what the fuck?
It's the Rock.
Fucking
Dipset.
Jim Jones, Dipset, we out here, Bird Gang.
Like, I know Jim Jones was a wrestling fan, but yo, I didn't think. Well, yeah, it's Swerve in the music industry. Again, this is what you said. Like, this guy wants to be the face of the company. He's bringing in the music. He's bringing in all the musicians, everyone else. He's doing photo shoots with them. He's being featured in some of their tracks. You know, again, this is. Go ahead, finish.
Yeah,
Finish.
like the
I
Swerve
don't want
is,
to take over.
he's in like incredible and just building up his name and his persona and his aura. Like, and then we get to the match. Incredible fucking match. The storytelling in this, on top of the action, was top fucking tier, bro. The start with them exchanging head scissors and Ranas and both landing on their feet and moving like, I'm prepared to go. I am also prepared to go. Like I said at the top, every single thing in this match was set as a mission statement to make you see, like, obviously Ospreay has come into this company and been the hottest guy from the first match he's had as an official signee of AEW. He's been the hottest guy here. But Swerve has been the world champion. So how do you reconcile those things? And AEW really took the simplest route and just put them together. And it worked because, not that people didn't necessarily see Swerve on Ospreay's level, but because Ospreay was so hot, there was an underlying worry that he was overshadowing Swerve a little bit. So they just made sure that didn't happen, and they showed that Swerve is actually the man here. Them exchanging their moves, like fucking Swerve trying to use a hidden blade. Fucking Ospreay trying to stomp this man. The Swerve stomp on the damn table, which I am the table moment.
Yes, I am the table again.
For the announce table of all. Oh my God.
Stop going after the Spanish announce table. What the fuck?
So
AEW is supposed to be different from that other company.
Hey, listen, it is what it is. I guess it's wrestling tradition at this point. But yeah, man. And then the finish, we saw MJF watching backstage. But then we got the finish, where they charge up and Ospreay runs in for the hidden blade, but Swerve catches him and holds him up and just gives him a look like, you tried, but you still ain't ready. He basically Tanahashi Okada'd him. You still ain't ready. And hit that fucking final house call, followed with the big pressure, and got the win. Bro. The even down to the ref getting knocked out and Don Callis coming in. You won't. He was going to use the Tiger Driver, but Swerve escaped. You won't use the Tiger Driver. Use the screwdriver, but you have to kill him. Kill him now. And Ospreay's like, all right, bro, maybe I'll kill him. No, bro, this is wrong. I'm not going to kill him. And then
you almost stabbed Nana.
Yeah, he did almost stab
people
Nana.
still want his fucking coffee.
Yeah, people need the coffee. They need to do the dance. Like, don't kill him. You can't kill him. But Ospreay decided, I'm not going to do that. It's not me, bro. I'm not going to do that. And he went on and wrestled Swerve clean as he could and lost clean, which is exactly what I said was going to happen, which is exactly what I said needed to happen to fully establish Swerve as AEW's number one. Like, obviously, Ospreay, he will hit that point. I absolutely believe Ospreay will hold the world title, and I believe he will be AEW's number one. He's been too great, such far as to not get that position. But right now, it's Swerve's time. And everything about this match was built to show you that, yes, Ospreay is great, and he is the man. But right now, Swerve is the guy leading us toward the future, which is all you want out of your top guy, out of your world champion. So you know what? Go. This shit gets a go, bro. Like, I have never been. If you want to talk about the future of a company and setting up young guys, like we talked about that a little bit when we were watching Dominion, New Japan Dominion.
Yep.
This is the perfect example of what New Japan should be doing. Like, find your guys that you know are going to lead you to the future and put them in that position. That's what AEW did here. They said Swerve and Ospreay are our guys, and we are going to let them rock. So yeah, go.
Yeah, this match absolutely proved that these two guys are genuinely the future of this company. Like, fuck your four pillars at this point. Those have been blown out of the water.
They're way beyond them. Yeah,
they're way beyond them. Like, if you thought Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, Jack Perry, who the fuck was the four? Oh yeah, MJF. We're gonna be the ones that we're gonna carry this company to the promised land. Yeah, MJF did succeed. Held on to that title for a year, carried this company to what it was, and he did his job. Now it's time for the new guys that we got coming up to this company to move forward and become the main people that we have to focus on. And Swerve and Ospreay were those prime examples of what the future holds for this company going into the next 5 years. Swerve is doing all of the business shit. He's doing all the music stuff. He's doing all the radio appearances as world champion. You know, he's doing any other appearance that's available. He's doing it all. He said he wants to prove that he could take up the responsibility of being a world champion, but also promoting this company. And he's been doing that a lot. Like I said, with all the musicians that he's bringing in, it brings a lot of buzz to everyone else that listens to hip hop music, that sees these guys come on to wrestling shows. It gets them on the product. It gets everyone focused on that because this is what our main champion is doing right now. We're getting garments on the show a whole lot more, which is like, holy shit. So the match here, it was absolutely superb for what it was. Top notch, absolutely a world championship main event. Champion versus champion. It was time for Will Ospreay to receive a loss here. He has been undefeated since he's gotten to this company. They hot-shotted him with the international title. No biggie. I'm not saying that was a huge complaint, but it needed to be necessary. Not saying that Roddy's title reign was boring, but they had to do it because Will Ospreay is just too goddamn hot in the wrestling world. He's everything that everyone talks about, whether if it's WWE, TNA, New Japan, Ring of Honor, all those other promotions. They are talking about this man. They want to book this man. Even Soft Ground Wrestling in Uganda is talking about getting this man on their show to wrestle him. He's white fucking hot right now. And this is what AEW needs. They need a white hot babyface like Will Ospreay to possibly be the guy to carry this company into the next 5 years. Someone like Swerve is going to carry this company into the next 5 years. Someone like Daniel Garcia, who was actually up in the rafters during this main event watching, is going to be the one that's probably going to carry this company within the next 5 years. MJF, possibly the same thing. But this match proved one thing certainly, that Swerve can carry himself in the main event, whether he's a babyface or a heel here. The story here was great. You know, we were going to get the Tiger Driver tease, but Will Ospreay was like, no. And then that trilodytic asshole was out here like, you must kill this man with this weapon that I used on Kenny Omega. And you must kill him. Kill him right now. But then Prince Nana was about to sacrifice himself for the greater good of Swerve. And Will Ospreay was like, no, bro. I got a wife and kid. I can't throw all my life away. I can't go to prison, bro. All of that just for him to lose the match. It was necessary. Right here and there, this is going to show that they're going to kick him out of the Don Callis family, which they should have done that a while back. I don't know why we're still teasing that. They should have done that a while ago. And then we got Roosh to go forward. I think it's after, like, he faces Daniel Garcia for the international title this Wednesday. This is when that's going to take place. Roos comes in, takes Ospreay out. That's going to be the next opponent for Ospreay. And then it's probably going to be like we run it back, but Wembley will probably be the triple threat match. Ospreay, Swerve, MJF.
Yes.
Unless, like I said, they decide to bring back Adam Cole in short notice and then they start plugging that. Do that for All In. We do part 2. No biggie. This match was absolutely fucking amazing, though. This was a great main event. This also is getting a fucking GOAT. The moves that they were doing here were great. Yeah, the ref took a hidden blade. We were gonna get a Tiger Driver. There was a lot here. There was a lot at stake here. A lot at stake, and a lot of people were really hoping that they were gonna hotshot Ospreay and give him the world title. I mean, I don't know how I would have felt about that, but him actually losing here was the right move. It was the right move because Swerve needs to hold on to that title for a bit longer. I don't think he's going to lose it at All In, but I do believe that there's going to be a worthy opponent for Swerve going forward. I don't know, man. I could possibly see him holding on to that belt for a whole year as well.
It'd be nice. Be nice.
It'd be nice, but we got to see how Tony Khan is feeling about that.
Yeah.
All right, so best match of the night, worst match of the night, and overall final grade for Forbidden Door 2023. Go ahead, TJ.
Match of the night is the main for sure. Again, incredible match. Everything that needed to be done with those two guys. Can't compliment it enough. Worst match of the night, Mox and Naito, unfortunately. Like, just an off night from two guys who I love and respect a ton. So I ain't even going to say too much about it. Just, they had a better match at Windy City Riot. Watch that one.
Yeah.
Overall, great for the show. I am going to go, and this is a bit skewed because I was there. But I'm going to give it a solid A-. I think the Forbidden Doors of the past two were overall better shows with
Yes.
bigger highs. But I do think that, I think a lot of people are saying coming out of this that Forbidden Door doesn't have the catch it once does. And I disagree with that. I actually do still feel like it still has some cash, especially adding in CMLL and Stardom to the mix. Like, the idea of company crossover, I think, is still very cool. And it still draws, obviously. Like, they did 10K, and Forbidden Door has become one of the AEW shows that is guaranteed to do a good number in terms of ticket sales. So I don't think that the concept is on dying legs at all. I think it's as strong as it's ever been. But, I do think that there are other things that impacted it, like New Japan being a little bit colder this year and, other sort of assorted situations. But other than that, like I said, no matter what else is going on outside, no matter what ancillary issues might be going on with whatever company, whenever they come together on the one night of the year where the door is opened and they get in the building and put on the show, it's always great. It's always a great time. So yeah, A for Forbidden Door.
A- indeed. Good grade. Yeah, match of the night for me. I'm not gonna go with the main event for this one. It'd be too easy. I'm gonna go with Shingo and Danielson. That was my match of the night. That match was absolutely fun, very technical. Again, I'm a sucker for tournaments, and the fact that we got this was a treat for everybody. And it was 20 minutes of a good tournament match. A rivalry, 10 plus years in the making. We got to see it here once again, and I'm happy that we got it. And it was really, really great. I know I might have given it a bars, but I don't want to, seem like I don't want to think like I'm a copycat and say the main event was a great match. So I'm gonna go with the Owen Hart Cup for the men's side. It was great. Worst match of the night, yes, it will go for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. These guys were just, whoo, it was bad. It was very, very bad. And it's not even like it was botchy. It's just, you know, that one moment where you feel like you don't give a shit. This was that match where you just be like, I don't give a shit anymore. I want to go home. But yeah, final grade for the show, I will give it an A, because it was, I mean, yeah, it didn't have the effects of the last two matches, which I could agree with you on. It felt like more of an AEW show here than like AEW / New Japan, but you know, they were very limited. Most of that was basically like for the 0 hour and such, which I think was kind of reversed. And honestly, you know, the fucking crowd, man, you guys are assholes. Like, get over yourselves. Like, it's wrestling. Go enjoy it. Stop chanting for Boston stuff. But yeah, it gets a solid A on my end. But as you may see, the scoreboard here, Young Wolf got the perfect score. He is the Ramblemania heavyweight champion, but that reign might be coming to a very short end for this Saturday. The championship will be defended at one of the big 5 WWE shows, which will be Money in the Bank in the 6th, known as the Toronto. That's where the people are from. Hooray!
In Toronto, is Drake gonna be there?
Oh my God! If Drake gonna be there, the crowd gonna start chanting, "They not like us! They not like us!"
OVO, they gonna call it OVO and shit.
Oh my God! Oh, and it's on Peacock, so they're not gonna censor it. Like OVOs.
All right, shit. He said
But
Rick
yeah,
Ross got jumped out there.
that will be the next title defense. If by any chance we might have another title defense for Slammiversary, if not, we will wait for August 25th. That will be All In, followed by SummerSlam coming up in August. But it looks like there has been enough talk here for us on the Ramblemania show, for it is time to bring it home. But do not forget, we will be back tomorrow, come Tuesday, twitch.tv/Ramblemania show with some more Nickelodeon guts. Thursdays, total nonstop ramble and ramble of honor. We will be back Friday for Rampage, Saturday for the Money in the Bank live stream and the Collision, and come weekly TV, we will be watching the Global Guts. Great one. It is time for you to tell all the Ramble Maniacs and all the BC aliens where to find us.
Yeah, you already know where to find us. Find us on Instagram at Ramblemania Show, at Banter Club Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Ramblemania, Facebook.com/Ramblemania Show. Also find our group there, Ramblemania Shows, Banter Club. We need the rest of this podcast is everybody be associated with us. All that goings on and all that's going down. As far as audio goes, wherever audio is found, that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere podcasts are found. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. As far as visuals, twitch.tv/Ramblemania Show. Spotify video. We're on YouTube. Search Ramblemania Show or Banter Club. When you get here, watch the videos, click subscribe, click the bell, so that when the new content drops, it goes straight to you. As far as me personally, find me on Instagram at TJ the Great One. That's TJ the GR, the number 8, the number 1. And find me on Twitter at TJ the Great. That's TJ the GR, the number 8. It's as simple as that.
TJ the Great. TJ the Great. As always, follow me on Instagram at iZombies, IZombie, IESZ. Thank you for everyone who joined us here on the chat tonight. Don't forget, no Raw next week, for we will be recapping Money in the Bank. Also, Raw Rants will be back in 2 weeks. For TJ the Great, I'm Hazel the iZombie. This has been our AEW / New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door 2024 review here on the Ramblemania Show. We want to wish all of you out there a and goodies. You're A2 fucking sweet.
And a good fight. And a good night. What's up?
Now go home and smoke some more crack.